bird, it's a plane, it's a dork, it's a couple dorks, reminiscing some nostalgia in classic video games, toys, and cartoons. I'm your boy Blaise McCoy, and with my awesome friend Super Nacho, we invite you to join us in the Legion of Dork, a podcast where we talk about our favorites of the past and discuss it all with you. The good old days when video game arcades were full, pinball, and more. When the toy stores were stocked to the ceilings with all your favorites like G.I. Joe, Real American Hero. Well, it started all with Pong with me in the 70s. Then Atari, Nintendo, Sega, ColecoVision, and television, and more brought new classics. Classics like Space Invaders, pew pew pew, and Donkey Kong, Pitfall, Dig Dug was a great one. Spent a lot of quarters on Galaga, that's for damn sure. Tecmo Bowl, hut, touchdown, and all the sports games. Super Mario Brothers became an instant classic, so did Zelda and Sonic the Hedgehog. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out was a great one to play. So was Street Fighter, Hadouken, and all the fighting games. Star Wars toys and Hot Wheels is where I started collecting toys back in the day. Masters of the Universe, and you can't forget the bad guys. Of course, Transformers, more than meets the eye. Inhumanoids are here. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Heroes in a Half Shell. Can't forget the wrestling figures, WWF, AWA, and those little guys, the Muscles. Yeah, I love playing with those, are great. Thundercats, ho! And even Voltron brought them all together with movies, cartoons, and toys. Join us in the Legion of Dork right here on the Blaise Radio Network here on YouTube. Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Blaise McCoy. We're live with another episode of the Legion of Dork. And I want to, first of all, thank everyone for being a part of the show. I mean, we've had some great shows with an idea that we started a little while back, having a podcast about retro toys, video games, cartoons, TVs, movies, etc. Our first show, I brought on my guest Super. Oh, Cougar got me. Welcome in, Cougar. I will welcome everyone in just a moment, guaranteed. But just talking about the first couple shows that we had, we talked about, well, Nacho and I, our favorites, He-Man and Transformers in the very first show. And we covered a video game system, and we'll do the same here tonight. Atari 2600 was the one we featured on our first LOD podcast. And Nightbot Johnny 5 will drop the link in the live chat for the podcast playlist for the channel. You can check out the WrestleSense podcast. We had a great one last night about the Royal Rumble. I will be live tomorrow during the Royal Rumble, opening up the StreamYard. So I hope to see some of you guys and gals out there joining along for the fun as we watch the Royal Rumble. One of my favorite wrestling shows of the year. Also, the Blaise cards will be back soon. I have a shipment in process now coming in that will be able to cover some more sports collectibles. We've also done these Legion of Dork podcasts. Spider-Man and Nintendo was the second one, the original Nintendo, and my favorite Spider-Man. The third Legion of Dork was 80s cartoons. That was a blast. We had over 100 different cartoons from the 80s and before. And we're going to do some more stuff in the future. We talked about 90s cartoons. Probably honing in on some of the ones with the adult humor and stuff, like some of the so South Park, Ren and Stimpy, The Simpsons, Beavis and Butthead, SpongeBob, which is for kids, but there's some adult humor in there too. So some of the evolution of the cartoons in the 90s, not specifically all of them in the 90s, but maybe a handful, and covering the broad spectrum of the 90s cartoons as well. Also planned in the future, 1980s music. We're going to do one-hit wonders, which will be pretty fun. Beaver and Butt Plug. Yeah, that's one of my favorites. Those guys were a hoot, man. The way they mixed music into the cartoon was very cool back in the day. Just like Mystery Science Theater, if you guys remember that, where they would sit in front and watch the movies and crack on them, just like Beavis and Butthead would watch a video and crack on them. It was great. Actually made a lot of music videos famous and popular from Beavis and Butthead. We're also planning on doing one solely on retro TV commercials And man, if you guys love old TV commercials, I got a slew of them tonight for this show, so stick around. Reboots and revivals was a great one that was thrown my way, which video games, TV, movies, and stuff that was rebooted or a revival, a new edition of it. And we'll talk a little bit about that throughout tonight as well. And on all the shows, we try to touch TVs and movies, cartoons, comics, toys, specifically, as you see around here, collectibles as they are, honing in on mostly specifically retro. Two more that I'm really looking forward to are 80s TV sitcoms, because I had a lot of fun with some of the sitcoms back in the day, and 80s game shows. We'll talk about some of those tonight for damn sure. Let's take a look at who we got in the live chat. We have some special guests already here in the back. Can't wait for it. It's going to be fun tonight. Oh, we're going to Wang Chung tonight. You know how to do it. Wally, good to see you, Wally. Good to see you, Wally. Monstars in the building. Good to see you, Sean and Molly as well. Sean has said he's going to join me tomorrow on the Rumble podcast. We'll see how that goes. Some guy named Blaise Radio. I don't know who the hell that guy is. Some guy named Super Nacho. I don't know who the hell that guy is either. But Crushing Kelly's in the house. Always a pleasure, Kelly. I'll tip my hat to you, but I'm wearing it backwards. I have to do that. Miles Stanley Ward, one of the members of the channel. Thank you so much. MS Dub. Good to see you, Miles. Crimson Ninja as well. Another member to the channel hanging out, hanging and banging. Good to see you. Cougar Knight. Please don't hurt me, Cougar. I mean, hurt me in a good way if you're going to. You know what I'm saying? It looks like Cougar was a Ren and Stimpy fan. That was a trippy cartoon, man. I can't wait to cover that one. You coveted my ice cream bar. It was a lot of great Space Madness was one of my favorite ones from Ren. I could sit here and talk about Ren and Stimpy for a long time. Oh no, it's Dr. Anus Tickler. Tickle, 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 Joey. Hey, if you're available, Joey, I might have to get you to jump onto this call here if you want to. I don't know. I'll drop you the link and see. So we will have some special guests coming up here tonight. Maybe some surprise guests. Unfortunately, the birthday boy is still at work, hoping he gets home in time to join us here. We'll see how that goes. If not, I got a promise, not a promise, but a pledge, I should say, from our good friend Chance Harper, that once he gets off of work, comes home. We do have a big PDW show tonight, so Platinum Dragon Wrestling will be live around 8:30 p.m. here tonight. So we're going to hype that shit up. And Cassie Madam Red also. Tomorrow night after the Royal Rumble stream, Cassie's going to do a Jackbox stream. I always messed that up. I don't know why. But Shifty, Chance, and Cassie's links to their channels are in the description to this show. So if you guys want to check those out, make sure you're subscribed. You will not be disappointed. Demon Joker's in the building. Great to see you, Joker. So we got two of the special guests already here, and I dropped the old link out there for somebody else as well. If the good doctor wants to join us, we'll see. So we will get into board games tonight, family game night. So back in the day, and now it's evolved, and we'll talk about that. Get together with the family or friends and play board games. Family game night. Nowadays, you got your phone, you got your tablet, you got your PC, you got your computer. Digital games have taken over, and a lot of the games we're going to talk about tonight are now in digital form. And that's where you can see we've had Uno, Monopoly, we've had Battleship that I streamed here on YouTube. Cassie's Jackbox stream, definitely a hoot when you get 4 or 5 people in there having a lot of fun as well. So, we got Jen Richards in the house. Good to see you, Jen. Thanks for joining the show. So just before we get going, I'm going to talk about why we started this stream and what it's all about. We want to bring it back. We want to take you back to when games were a little different, when toys were a lot different, similar to what they have now, but in a different way. So I'd be remiss not to give my normal co-host a resounding introduction. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a dork. You know he's faster than a speeding crack dealer being chased by the cops. Yes, I'm reading this shit, so don't laugh at it. More powerful than a roid-raging linebacker. One day I'll memorize it. Able to leap tall stuff with a running start. He is the one, the only Super Nacho. Welcome, brother. How you doing, man?
What's up, man?
Oh, he's gonna give me the OC. What's happening? How you doing, man?
Doing good.
So we talked about this stream doing this one where in the past we hit some of our big favorites, He-Man, Spider-Man, and Atari and stuff like that, where we're pretty much not experts, but we know a lot. You more an expert than me, but board games is really broad, so we don't know a lot about them. But that's the point. You don't have to have fun with it, right?
Right. I mean, most board games are pretty simple. That's why you can play them with your kids.
So yeah, dice, cards, board games, handhelds. I had a couple handheld ones that were really fun, and we'll talk somewhat about those too. But let's go ahead and bring on the rest of the guests. Why not wait around? The one and only Cassie, Madam Red.
Hello, loves.
Now, you guys, just like on the Wrestle Sense podcast, me and the boys on the Wrestle Sense podcast, we've known each other for a while. So we're going to dig on each other. We're going to have fun. The group that we have here, we've been on PlayStation calls and stuff. So the banter and stuff is all friendly. It's always a pleasure. And Cassie, how are you today?
I am perfectly fantastic.
Fantastic. That's just fantastic. I'm glad you saved this spot on your challenge calendar.
Yeah,
So we're going to get to all the games. There's so many to cover, but it's just going to be slideshows like before. We're just going to chit chat about them. I have a couple props here. So does Super Nacho, and so does the one, the only, also 357 pounds. He's a drunken dragon clown. Get up to get down with Shifty. What's going on?
Gentlemen, how are you doing tonight?
Good.
I just thought I'd come in and say hi. I have a few things to show. I'm about to put down the Dragon Hawk, so I might be quiet for a little while, but I'll let you know when I'm back.
That's fine. Well, welcome in, my friend. We definitely want to welcome Shifty in. And tonight at 8:30, there is a Platinum Dragon Studios show right here on YouTube. So stay tuned to that. We're going to lead right into that and have a ball with that. We're going to have some fun with Shifty and Platinum Dragon Wrestling. Also, in the description of this show, you will find the links to Cassie's channel, Shifty's channel, and our birthday boy Chance, who just can't make it right now because for some reason he still has to work. That sucks.
Boo.
Yeah, I know. Jamar's Yeah, I know. We as friends, we've been digging on him all day, trying to get him to get an excuse to get out of work. Like, I don't want to say family emergency, but this is family game night, so it's kind of a family emergency.
Yeah.
No. But Shifty will be in and out. That's what she said. That's what Mrs. Shifty might have said. Candy might have said that, but we're not PG around here. So although this is about games and toys and fun stuff like this, we do have a lot of adult humor, right, Cassie?
Just a little. Just a touch.
Speaking of adult humor, we have a new special guest. And oh, look at this. We got a gamer time. Shulky sighting. We will have Shulky on one of these shows. I promise you all out there, even if we have to do a show just on the She-Hulk series that's coming out.
Oh, Lord.
So that might be a way to get her on here. We'll see. It would be a treat.
Or one just about Sonic.
Yep, we can do that too. We can do that. We can do that too. We've talked about Turtles, and Sonic's another one we could do. Sonic's another one we can definitely do. Our surprise guest, the doctor is in, I guess you could say. This was a pleasure to bring this dude on to have fun. Always a blast. Always OTT. It's Joel Quinn.
What up, everybody?
What's poppin',
Joey,
brother?
love, hello.
What up?
So glad you could join us, my friend. Tickle, 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 buddy. I'm waiting to hear what you have to say about some of these games. I don't want to know about all the games. You might play some real fun stuff.
There are some fun games out there. Like, I was like totally into like the Nintendo games back in the day, like Super Smash Brothers and shit. Like, that was my shit.
Now, see, those are games we'll get to as we start with old school and go into digital games. Mm-hmm. And the idea tonight is, like you see here, 4 of us, 4 or more people playing a game. We can get into one-on-one games and 2-on-2 games forever, but the games where all 4 people can play are the ones we want to kind of hone in on
Oh, I'm
tonight.
game for everything.
I know. We know you are.
You and me both, honey.
We know you are. So here I know, man. We got some of the best in the business joining us here tonight. And
Oopsie.
there he is. There he is.
I showed my real face finally.
Yeah. Face
Hey, if I
reveal.
can do it, you can do it, man.
You busted your face cherry.
I officially busted my cherry. Oops.
So Shifty will be joining us as well here, but before we get into, man, we got some fun commercials. I can't wait to chat about some of these commercials we got going on. So before we get into the first run, which are classics, let's do a little run of some commercials and have some fun, folks. We'll be right back with more Legion of Dork. Stay tuned.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Be a winner at the game of life. Find a job.
I'm a doctor. Have money, maybe.
Get married.
Have a baby. I got twins. Take a chance.
Game of life.
I won the lottery.
Find romance. You can win or get stuck.
I inherited a skunk farm.
Be a winner at the game of life.
I'm a millionaire.
Be a winner at the game of life.
From Milton Bradley.
From Milton Bradley. Now we'll get to showing the games off a little more, but I figured we'd start out with some of the classics now. Cassie, is there a digital life game?
Not that I'm aware of,
I
but
thought-
I'm sure there probably actually is.
There's
Yeah,
one
I'm
on like the
There is
mobile,
on
but it's not as
something.
fun.
Yeah. I thought somewhere I saw in some of those game packs, like they have those Hasbro game packs that we've touched base with before. Speaking of touching stuff, let's do another commercial.
Okay, let's operate. Operate. Where's the dog?
It's Operation the Wacky Doctor's game where you're the wacky doctor. Batteries not included.
I am fluid. My turn. Take out asparagus for $100.
It takes a steady hand because if you touch the side...
Here goes his funny bone. Don't get nervous. I did it. That's $200.
Operation, a game from Milton Bradley.
My sister hated that game because she didn't like being scared.
That's what started my career right there.
So
Yeah.
the influence of Dr. Anus Tickler, another moniker of Joel down there, and definitely, I'm sure you like to operate. Fun stuff.
I always wanted to flip him over.
Oh Lord.
I just wanted to pull a bone out of his ass.
Oh my goodness. Let's just go ahead and do two more before we get
My
to
daughter's not open.
the actual ones. Here's a good one. This was one use your mind a little bit.
Is it me?
Is it you?
Who knows?
Can you guess who? It's a mystery. Did your person wear a hat? No.
Your history. But I'm still here.
Can you guess who? Does your person have a beard? Uh-huh.
You're out of here.
Can you guess who? Do you have a clue? Does your person wear glasses? Yes. I'm gone.
Me too.
Can you guess who? Not you or you. You're Sam. You win. Let's play again. Can you guess who?
Guess who? Game cards do not actually talk.
Game cards do not actually talk. I think what's really cool about the old commercials and stuff were the jingles. Because like every commercial had to have like a funny, corny song attached to it, which I think made it a little more entertaining. We got, speaking of entertaining, Fire Stars in the house. And I got to get
Hi,
a drum.
Star. How are you, lovely?
And the
Did you do
drum
your
monkey. Did you do your homework, kid? Nacho's always busting her hump. I
The
dig it. I
arch
love it.
enemy.
Look, he said hashtag knuckles deep. Drum. The
Fucking
humor
love that guy.
I love the humor that we have around here, man. It is so freaking uplifting and fun, man. One more commercial before we get into our first reel. Ooh, this one's a little spooky.
Bed bugs, bed bugs. There'll be no sleep today. Bed bugs, bed bugs. Something crazy game to play.
Bed Bugs is the frantic new catch and capture game where you pick a color and then scramble to get the most bugs.
Bed bugs, bed bugs.
Batteries not included.
Don't let them get away. Bed bugs, bed bugs. It's a wacky game to play. Bed bugs, bed bugs. There'll be no sleep today. Bed bugs, bed bugs. You'll get carried away.
Bed Bugs from Milton Bradley. It'll drive you buggy.
That's a sick, twisted game, isn't it?
Ew.
That dude sounds like he's trying out for a death metal band there. He's like,
oh, there's a song we can redo, Nacho.
Sounds like he's gonna get scabies or something. That's
Walter, I'm not doing a face reveal. Chill the fuck out with that, dude. Seriously.
I mean, at least maybe there would be at least there's not a crabs game.
Yeah.
Walter would be lucky you're seeing my beautiful face. You leave Cassie the fuck alone. Oh,
Tell him, Joey, crack that whip.
What, my long, luxurious hair isn't enough for you, Wally?
Yeah, hey now.
I do love your hair. It's about as long as mine, actually. Mine's a little bit longer.
I love your hair too, asshole. Bald head reveal. No, it's not the first time we've done that. Oh, March Nemesis, he's calling you out.
Dun dun dun. No more.
I figured we'd give a little taste of what the first segment would be here, and we go back to the beginning. Not really the beginning. I'm sure we can go way back to where they played games in the medieval times or whatever. But let's talk about, and I love these little 8-bit songs that I've found, copyright free, hopefully. Let's go back to the origins
Fingers crossed.
of old school games. Probably one of my favorite things to do with these podcasts is to put those little intros and shit in together. We got James Money in the house. James, good to see you. So let's go back, and I'm really interested to see this first slide. If anybody knows what the unknown game is, so let's go ahead and take a look at the slideshow here. All right, so this is old school as we're gonna get. Obviously, everyone knows what checkers and chess is. You have Chinese checkers on the bottom left. Backgammon, which I never really figured out completely, but you know what I did? And me and my brother we made up our own damn game on what we thought backgammon should be. Parcheesi, and can anybody guess what that is in the top middle? Anyone on the panel here? You guys know what that is?
Absolutely no clue.
Nope.
No idea.
Well, you're probably it's probably way before you. You're too young, Joey.
Look at that shit.
Baby, he's a baby.
Is that the one you were talking about earlier? That
yeah.
like,
Anybody in the live chat know what that game is? I compare it to an old Atari game. Remember Amidar, where you used to go around and paint the little Firestar? You're like 12. How would you know what it is? Sorry, I'm sorry. She's gonna get me for that one. Shulky knows what it is. It's something.
You win.
You win, Shulky. You win, Shulky. Chaos Reaper's in the building. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Checkers was fun, says Wally. Simpleton. I dig the simple games. That's what I'm all about, man. The more complex, the more I'm not interested. So no one knows what it is. All right. It is called Nine Men's Morris.
I've done things with 9 men.
I was waiting for the Joey comment on that one. Nine Men's Morris. I'm no clue. I don't know if you have to line up. It looks like it's kind of checkery with black and white discs, but I don't even know what the thing. I should have Googled like what the hell it is. LA knows what it is. It's a medieval game of Twister. Good to see you, LA.
When it was invented.
I wonder if they did have Twister in the medieval days.
I thought the bottom right was sorry. I'm not gonna lie. I really thought that's what it was at first.
That one I know.
Sorry.
That one's aggravation.
Aggravation. It's a very aggravating game.
Yeah, we used to have that one when I was a kid.
It's Parcheesi.
I've never played that one.
Because Chinese checkers on the bottom left.
Yeah.
That's Parcheesi on the right. Bottom right. That's what the picture said. I was like, okay, because I used to have a big cube that was like kind of like an ottoman, but on one side it was checkers, one side it was another. It was Parcheesi, backgammon, and Chinese checkers. Which Chinese checkers, I just tried to make up rules for that too. No idea. Wally says it's poker. Liquor in the front, poker in the rear. Liquor in the front, and poker in the rear. Bottom right game is Ludo. See, there might be different names for that game. But what the picture said was Parcheesi. But yeah, that's another thing. I mean, it's up for debate. I mean, there's a bunch of different games, but this is as simple and plain as you get going. But let's go ahead and get into alphabetical order here. Battleship, good one. I do have a commercial for Battleship that will be coming up here after this segment. And I have streamed Battleship, the online Battleship that's here, and it's really fun. But people can also cheat if you're watching who's streaming, because you can see where their ships are.
Battle shots.
Do we lose Cassie?
I think
There
she
she
ran
is.
for a minute. Oh, there she is.
I had some technical difficulties. My bad.
No problem. No problem. Blaise Skyped you for Wiki for Nine Men's Morris. Oh, so you do know about Nine Men's Morris, or are you guessing? Nine Men's Morris strategy board game for 2 players, dating at least to the Roman Empire. Holy sheep shit.
Ooh.
Game is also known as Nine Man Morris, Mills, Mill Game, Merrills, Morals, Nine Penny Moral. The game has been called Cowboy Checkers and is sometimes printed on the back of checkered boards. It's a solved game. That is a game whose optimal strategy has been calculated. It has been shown that with perfect play from both players, the game results in a draw. That's not fun. The main alternative versions of the game, 3, 6, and 12 men's Morris. That's a lot of men out there. It's raining men. Hallelujah. So I guess we all learned something. We learned something here, apparently. What the fuck Nine Men's Morris is. So you can't say that we don't do educational content here on the channel as well, people.
Educational and informational.
Because reading is what? Fundamental.
It's not fun, though. Not to me, at least. All right. So Battleship, definitely a good one. And there's regular Battleship and electronic Battleship. So they're definitely, okay, LA. You just wanted me to thank you. That's the only reason you sent that info. I could have done that too. All right, let's keep it rolling. And some of these are just the boards. We're going to see if people know what the hell they are.
Candyland.
Definitely a fun one, Cassie.
That was one of my
obviously.
favorites when I was a little kid.
It's so colorful. It's so.
That one kind of looks like me in that mud pit over there. Kind of looks like me a little bit. We could be twins.
Oh, this one just made me want to eat a shitload of candy and get cavities.
That game looks like
I'm a doctor. I got a PhD, Blaise.
I know you do. I don't think that PhD would help me with a sweet tooth. Well, maybe it would. Let's table that conversation for another time. Candyland, a classic. How about this one? Similar.
I fucking hated this game.
And I'm glad someone said that, because a lot of these games, and when we get to Sorry later on, same feeling. Fuck this game.
Mm-hmm.
You get so far and someone jacks you down a ladder or down a slide, and you just want to beat the shit out of your brother or sister or your friend.
It was up the ladders and down the slides.
Yes. Okay.
You wanted the ladders.
Suck it.
Yes. So, yeah, no wonder I sucked at this game. I don't even know how to play the damn thing. So, Shits and Ladders, pretty interesting game. And I tried to, like, when I do my game night, like tomorrow, cheap plug, we'll be doing LTD game night. And I tried to incorporate more games. Like, we do the ladder chat Hangman, which is Hangman. We do roulette with wrestling roulette, guessing the numbers. But I have pictures of Monopoly and Battleship and Trivial Pursuit and Shoots and Ladders. And I was trying to. So once again, I've said this before. Anyone out there has any ideas of how we can incorporate a live chat game to any of these games or anything out there, I'm more welcome. Just slide into my DM. Firestar hated it. There's Andy Price. Good to see you, Andy. Welcome in. She hated it. She hated it. And then we have, of course, Wally. Your comments are so great, Wally. Funny, cool colors. I'm going to start to make up what I think Wally's voice would sound like and start to read his comments and pretend I'm him. We love you, Wally. All right. Keep rolling through the classics. Alphabetical order. Great one.
Loved
Loved
this one.
Clue so much.
Yep.
So
that one
much.
got a movie out of it.
Yeah. Yep. And
LTD should do a Clue.
Just when we did some of the other shows, it was toys that could also be movies that were TV. Like me and Nacho talked about, some of them intertwined in all of them. And Goddess of Pain is in the building. Good to see you, Goddess. And Double O Beer, Rob Machete in the house as well. We did use Clue on LTD. We did. It was Rex's Clue. Everyone was trying to figure out something with Rex. I forget how I did it, but you guys had to guess in the live chat like what room or where he did it, and not did it.
No, it was who attacked somebody, and it was like Molly Shamrock.
Yes, it was
in the
Molly,
parking garage.
Yes,
with a lead pipe or some shit like that.
Yeah. Yes, thank you. That's why I like having special guests because my memory is shit, and these guys pick me up and help me out. Hello, my son, says Goddess of Pain. Now that we see Nacho, it's kind of the disbelief of the fact that he's your son. But I'll play along. And once again, very jealous of the beard and the hair. You son of a bitch, love you to death. And locks for love. How about locks for Blaise, motherfuckers? Don't you have to have a clue before you can make a clue? Apparently,
I can probably donate some RT and still have
LA, the voice of reason. LA. Never thought I'd say that one.
Nacho and I could both cut our hair to our shoulders and make a wig for you. It'd be an interesting color combination.
And Shifty, when he pops back on, he did have a bunch of different Clue, didn't he? Nacho, was he showing Clue games?
Yeah, he had a big old pile of Clue, yeah.
And that's another thing we didn't really say about Clue. It wasn't just one type. They had a shitload of different clues and marketing money. If you got a hit, run with it.
Yeah, same thing with Monopoly. They've had tons.
And when we get to Monopoly, I did have my little Monopoly board here to show off. So we will talk a little bit about Monopoly and some alternate versions of Monopoly also. But that brings up a lot of different things. This Connect 4, one of my favorite commercials, and we're going to get to that after this segment. There we go.
Yeah.
So Connect 4, I mean, I know we're saying board games, but this has to be, and this was a one-on-one, so it's kind of against the grain of what I was saying we're kind of qualifying for, but
almost every kid has played Connect 4.
Thank you. Yes, exactly. That's it's so iconic that I like the fact that now they have in like bars, they have like big, huge, like Jenga is at bars with big blocks. And I've seen in some of they have a big, huge Connect 4 where you go up top and you play, and I think that's hilarious.
I love that game. We have one of those at my work, but it's all like donut circles. But like, yeah, it's fucking huge. I love that thing.
Yeah, see, they've even those games have evolved into stuff now that are still really fun to play. So Connect 4, definitely a classic. Definitely. Andy Price had it. A lot of people loving Connect 4. This one I don't think I had. Anyone
I had this one.
Yeah. I didn't have it, but I remember the commercials for it.
Yeah.
The fucking Battle Dome commercials.
I think I have. I have a Crossfire commercial. I'm not sure. Now, was it rubber bands or was it the gun? How did it shoot? It shot the little roller ball things, right?
They were like little ball bearings it shot, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like
I'm too young for this one.
There's going to be a bunch.
You can still find that in the store. I saw it in Target like a month ago.
Anybody? There we go. Giant. I have a giant yard version. Yeah. See, they did with she's still talking about Connect 4. I'm sure. Yep. They have big yard versions of that one, which is very cool. But Crossfire, I believe Crossfire is one of my commercials that we have coming up. Maybe.
I hope so. That was a great commercial.
No, I don't. I thought I had it.
Well, I sang part of it, so you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. All right. Crossfire. Let's see what's next. We got some unique ones that I don't know if a lot of people will remember or know, but this one I had. I had it. Don't break the ice.
That one.
I played this one.
It's another frustrating one where you think you got it under control, and I guess, correct me if I'm wrong, the idea is to make that dude not be the one to knock the dude over.
Pretty much, yeah.
So a balancing act. So always took the oh geez. Oh, she took the. I was going to say, where's this one going, Goddess? She took the metal balls out and
played marbles. Jeez.
Played marbles. I was thinking maybe Benoit balls.
I was thinking Jack.
Okay, first of all, those would be way too small for that. Way too small.
Says you. What you trying to say, Cassie?
Upper vaginal health is a good thing, okay?
Yes,
keep your shit tight, ladies.
Woo, tight like Nat Booty, as they say in an Outcast song. This I had, and I loved it. I was a huge fan. It was kind of Yahtzee-ish with the dice because you had to match them up, and kind of Monopoly-ish because you go around the board. I guess Game of Life, if you will, too. But Dungeon Dice, I wish I still had it. My brother and I love this game. Anyone else remember Dungeon Dice?
Never.
I know our birthday boy Chance.
Never heard of this one before.
Chance remembered it, but I guess that's right. Oh, geez, Goddess, why do you play into that? Beware of adult humor here tonight, people. It's only going to get worse or better depending on what your kink is.
Is it like the bad version of Mouse Hunt?
Maybe similar. This one definitely had to be talked about. Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I'm a big D&D nerd, so
he's evolved into a lot. So I mean, the creativity behind this game is what I like the most about it. Nacho, what about you?
Yeah, same. I mean, it's cooperative storytelling, really.
Yep. And the fact and the idea, and this is why I compare what I do on my channel to this as well, is the fact that if you don't have a very good dungeon master, you can have a shitty game.
Oh, definitely.
Right. Because I mean, that person is carrying the load, is creating where you're going, telling the story, and really bringing out the best of the game. And if you have a dungeon master that isn't very creative, you can still play. I'm not saying you can't, but you can still have fun. But Machete's a big D&D fan, and this is, I believe, one of the original, like the starter set that I found the picture of.
That's not one of the originals. It's I want to think that's 3rd or 4th edition, but I'm not 100% sure.
But this goes back. I'm not really how far D&D goes back. Do you, Nacho? Know how old?
76.
70s, late 70s. There you go.
Yeah, the guys who created it originally did like the tabletop war games, like Warhammer type stuff.
Yeah.
They got the idea that, instead of controlling the whole army, what if each player controlled one character? And grew out of that. I mean, they're on their 5th edition now and working on a 6th. I mean, the game.
Not like we talked about the Gauntlet video game, which I think is a little similar. You got like different types of characters, and you're out on a quest, and you're coming across a bunch of different things. So it's like a digital version of it. Did they ever make a D&D video game?
Oh, several.
Really?
And that's the thing. Like D&D has had such an influence on video games. If you've ever played a video game that has hit points, where you level up and gain XP and improve, like that, all comes from Dungeons and Dragons.
Very good point. Very good point. Riley's in the house. Good to see you. A moist critical meme. I don't know where you're going with that one. Here we go. 1974. Oh, there you go.
I knew it was around there somewhere.
The middle 70s when it first started coming out. LA is our Google Meister out there. Wikipedia Damus giving us some facts. I appreciate that. I really do. Baldur's Gate, very close to
Baldur's Gate is D&D. That's a D&D video game.
Sweet. So see, once again, the evolution of these games turning into video games and such, which is kind of the theme we're going to get into as we continue to go. So D&D, which we could do. I mean, if I get the right people on here, I'm sure we could do a whole thing on D&D because how much it's grown.
I've got hundreds of books from D&D behind me right now.
And that's what said. There's no exact way to play D&D. I mean, it's endless rules if you really have creative people. That's what I really do. Forgotten Realms is D&D.
Yep.
Machete, no, he's on top of that.
Electric soccer?
No, this is football. And I had one of these, and this is a really old 70s one. But it was really weird because you got like a little eraser, and you put it in the hand of one of the football players, probably the quarterback, whoever, and all you did is turn it on and make your funny jokes. The whole table vibrated. So the whole table vibrated like crazy, and wherever the characters go, they go until they either run into each other, which was a tackle, or out of bounds, and you'd stop it. Then you place them back on that line of scrimmage, and then you'd turn it on again, and buzz, loud as shit, because it was just something vibrating. LA remembers it.
I'm going to buy this table for my office.
But they had NFL ones, college ones, your favorite teams. It evolved into, you can get just a Steelers one or a LA Rams one or a Detroit Lions one or whatever whatever you like. So electric football, I had to get on here because it was something I really wish I still had my electric football set from way back in the day, because, and they were like metal. They were pretty hardcore little devices. Classic Game of Life. We saw the commercial for it. Get yourself
end up married with 15 kids, no college degree, but a doctor somehow.
Yep. And
that
was the cool thing.
That game is the only way they could have a life.
And they, they forgot a lot of stuff, but they put in a lot of weird stuff in the Game of Life on how you evolve. Like, did you pay taxes and stuff like that through this too? It's like, is every aspect of life really in there? I don't know. Game of Life is his shit.
I did like this game, but then it got like, after you have too many kids and then you get a wife and, you just want to throw the bitch out the car and get rid of your kids and forget your whole career.
Car.
I wanted to become a drug dealer and a whore, but they didn't give me that option. They never gave you that option.
It's a different version of Game of Life. LA, hold that thought.
The dirty one.
Hold that thought, LA. We'll get to it.
We'll have to make that version. We can make a lot of money off it.
Exactly. I mean, the idea.
Give up my good career of being a doctor to become a fucking whore. The dirtiest thing you'll ever see.
The game of the Red Lounge life.
There you go.
Yes.
So the Game of Life, iconic, definitely. Spin a damn wheel as long as that's still working, and travel and pretend you live out some kind of life.
We can call our version Game of Life in Prison.
Fantasy world. There you go.
How I went to prison.
All right, Cassie, do you know anything about this game? Because you're the girl here. So
girl talk. I never had it because when it was out, I was quote unquote too young to play it.
Oh, too young. Why would you be too young? What was so adult? Oh, it's trying to hook up with a boy.
Because it's about dating, and I was only like 6 or 7, and I was like,
oh, okay.
This sounds like a game that ended in very bad terms. Where basically you met somebody and then you slept with them, and this is what happened after. Now you're on Dateline, everybody. This is how Dateline started.
You see on the box it says ages 10 and up. I was below 10.
Gotcha.
So that was a no-go in my family.
So they're saying
this game was bad.
I'm sure this is back in the 80s too, or late 80s or whatever, early 90s. So I'm sure parents were not happy that they're trying to tell people that your 10-year-old should be dating. Right?
Yeah. And it was like going with like the whole like phone line, like 1-900 Datelines.
Yeah, really.
Trend too. So
very dodgy.
If you're looking at it, it was really creepy.
I should have found a 1-900 commercial to play here. That would have been hilarious right after this one. There are some really funny old school 1-900 commercials that are out there.
Just like that one girl's hair.
There you go. Game of Life. Your twins on a pole. Pay ho and poll tax. It was funny to see like the little kids were like little pegs like in that car. And notice you could only get so many. Like and then you started stacking your kids in the back of the car, like shove them in the trunk or on the roof or whatever.
No, then you had to get another car.
That might be Shawn Michaels. That's Shawn Michaels on the box. He says, "Oh, right in the bottom." I thought you meant one of the girls.
No, I was pretty sure you're talking about the one on the bottom.
Yeah,
we got Mr. Backlund when he still had hair.
And that one on the side, that's me as a doctor.
Oh, how cute. It is. Never saw Firestar. Well, go get it, Firestar. You can play it right now.
Firestar, you weren't even born yet when that game came out.
He's older than you.
These are all games that are mostly 30 years or older here for this first segment in Classic. Anybody remember Go For It? I do.
No.
I wasn't alive.
Barely. Like, I never played it, but I've seen it.
The game board looks like those maps of like when you buy tickets for a concert.
Yes.
So the little stacks in the middle all had cards, from what I remember. And depending on where you landed, you picked up a certain card, and to go for it, you could decide whether or not you wanted to go for it without really remembering the rules. Very loosely trying to explain and failing miserably. All right, go for it. Why not? Why not go for it, right? We saw the commercial. Guess Who? I sucked at these memory games. Anyone like Guess Who?
I loved Guess Who so much.
No, I always...
Now, this is another one where they had like Marvel Guess Who, and they had DC Guess Who, and they had, TV Guess Who, and it's all the game of memory. Like you pull it up, you see the person, you got to remember where the fuck they were to match them up. So it's a match game.
Yeah. Is your guy an asshole?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like the commercial,
you have to ask the yes or no questions.
Yeah.
To eliminate
Are you wearing a hat? Yeah.
To figure out who the other person was.
So are you a girl or a boy? Are you wearing a hat?
Did your guy have a schnoz or not?
Yeah. What are your pronouns? Etc.
What's that jawline about, though?
Yeah. Everyone remembers this one.
Yes.
Hungry
Hippo.
Now, has this game ever evolved? I've seen people play with laundry baskets and like balls.
Yeah, I've seen that.
They try to catch, with the
laundry baskets and balls.
They have teams of two, and one's basically doing like the wheelbarrow.
Oh Jesus, Monstar, he went there. The original racist profiling game would be Guess Who.
I mean, you're kind of not wrong.
I mean, the Guess Who game of today would be way different, and it would be a lot more difficult because you'd really have to ask some real probing questions. Speaking of probing, Hungry Hippo, everybody, a classic.
Or as I like to call it, my ex-wife, the game.
Oh Jesus!
He went there.
All right, another girly one. So putting Cassie on the spot. Do you remember it?
Again, one of my friends had it. Yeah, one of my friends had it, and we played it a couple of times, but we didn't even follow the rules because we were like 8 and we didn't care, and we were just like, let's go here. So
now they have hungry senators, says LA. It's a political game.
Yeah, my sister can this game, but I never played it with her because.
So you get a credit card. You get a credit card and you piss off your parents because you spend too much, or I'm not really sure what the idea behind Mall Madness would have been.
Yeah, no, you had basically you had a spending limit.
Okay.
And the goal was to like shop at as many stores as you could without going over your limit.
Now it says it talks. What did it tell you? Too much, bitch.
No, it was like,
you can't afford that.
You look really good with something from this store.
Okay, I got it.
It was dumb.
The Wheel of Fortune. We'll get to that one.
So you couldn't buy like lingerie.
No Victoria's Secret in that mall.
No Turnpike in this place, you guys.
Mall Madness, electronic Mall Madness. See, we're already getting into the evolution of the games where instead of just a board game with dice, they started to incorporate, even with Operation, it had a buzz, and the electronic football had a buzz. That's the basics. But as you see, as we go more and more, we'll get more digital, more gamey, more, a coin fountain you could jump into and bob for change in Mall Madness. Are you saying that from experience, LA? So we'll talk about Monopoly a little bit. Like I said, I have an original Monopoly board. And what I want to know from you guys in the live chat, and it's going to be really hard to see, were you the horse? Were you the dog? Were you the thimble? Were you the boot? Were you the car? Were you the wheelbarrow? Very cool wheelbarrow. I actually use that in my backyard sometimes. And were you the iron? So in the live chat, let us know which piece did you enjoy playing with in the game, not in the game. So
I was Cassie, the puppy all day, every day.
Cassie was the puppy.
All
Joe,
day.
Did you have a favorite, Joe?
I was actually the hat, but this game used to hit the fucking wall every time I played it.
Definitely another one. Another one. Nacho, did you have a preference? And
I was usually the thimble.
I was the car. I tried to be the car as much as possible. And of course, couldn't be Monopoly without some Monopoly money. 2020, we got a hundo.
Oh, drop dollars on me, Daddy.
Yeah, making it rain for Joey. Oh, and of course, yes, this is my game, and I got Boardwalk and I got Park Place. So that's when the game started to piss me off, when someone started building fucking houses and quote unquote monopolizing the fucking game. And I know that's the name of the game. But
See, I'm only allowed to play this game on the PlayStation with y'all now because my hubby won't play it with me because I'm kind of really competitive. And the last time he and I played it, he slept on the couch.
Oh boy.
Mind you, it was almost 20 years ago.
As Joey said, one of many games that would be fucking knocked over if you got pissed off too much. All right, so here we go. Firestar was the wheelie thingy. Okay.
The wheelbarrow, honey.
The wheel thingy.
The wheelie thingy.
That's the official name for the wheelbarrow now.
Yep.
It's the wheelie thingy. Nobody can ever call a wheelbarrow anything else now.
LA was the car.
Plus, yard work is not one of your chores without actually saying it.
Wally was the car. Riley was the car or the wheelbarrow.
The wheelie thingy.
Wheelie thingy. My bad. Check your Skype. You can see you have the 75th. Is it the same thing? You guys are banging my Skype out here. Oh, holy shit. Machete's one of those guys where in the closet, the top shelf is just nothing but games packed in, like 50 of them. I dig it. It brings back my childhood there.
We actually bought a localized version of Monopoly. I won't say the name of it, but it's like My City Monopoly.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up before I forget. Monopoly had many versions, not virgins. It might have had some versions, but I had NBA-opoly. So
yeah, I used to have a Marvel Comics one.
So once again, the marketing of these games turned from if something's working, make as many fucking versions of it that you can. So all the different teams, all the different places own the different teams, and so yeah. In Marvel one, what would you own in that one? The different characters.
Covers. It was comic book covers.
That's pretty cool.
And right now, Shulky's sending me all these pictures of comic books as we speak. Machete was the car. Demon Joker was the dog. Oh, you're classy like that, huh, Monstar? Hey now, okay.
He a classy one, Mr. Monstar.
Sassy, classy. Shulky says she thinks she was the car. If not, probably the wheelie thingy, the wheel thingy. Monstar says Joey get greased up. Uh-oh. Hey now. Yeah, Monopoly was the original Mario Party. Good point, Shulky. So you need to be on the show with us, Shulky.
Kind of.
Oh, sassy Firestar's yelling at you, Cassie.
Yeah.
Is there trouble in paradise?
No, let's be real. We know who's the dominant one in this relationship.
Okay. We'll get to that one too. Buckopoly? Huh? Explain. Is that like
deer? I think.
Buckopoly?
Buckopoly? College football. Yeah, they had a lot of sport. Yes, they did have a WWE version.
Yeah.
Wrestling never fails.
They did have a pot one. I do remember that one. There was.
I'm sure there was.
There was a stoner one, and it was fun. I loved that one. But that also hit the fucking wall, too.
There's a Canadian version. You can buy coffee and beer and cigarettes and regret.
Depression.
Jumanji. See, yeah, Monopoly's one that'll never die because no matter what comes out, you can associate something with Monopoly and make a damn game out of it.
Oh, and a puck.
And a puck. Yeah, of course, a puck. All right. Monopoly, classic, and definitely touch base on a lot of different stuff. I don't remember if I had this one.
I loved this one.
I never played it. I would always just set it up and start the thing, just never worry about actually playing it. It was just fun to see the whole Rube Goldstein machine work.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that it's not just a board was very creative. Like you could set that sumbitch up however you wanted it. And was there different ways to actually make it work to go around, or?
Well,
was there a set way you're supposed to put it?
As you played was supposed to be the thing.
Gotcha. I believe I do have the commercial, so we will see a Mousetrap commercial here tonight. LA loves Mousetrap.
That was one of my favorite games.
It's not just a board game; it's a science experiment.
Exactly.
It's all about how you play the game, and that's the way I love. Like I said, for some of these games, if you don't like the rules, make up your own, man. Imagination, man. If you can make up your own version of the game, that's even more fun.
Hey,
Zerk's in the
Zerky.
house. Good to see you, Zerk. Welcome in. There was a Ghostbusters version. Not a Mousetrap. I think you're still talking about Monopoly. There might have been a Ghost Trap version of Mousetrap. I don't know. We'll get the Mousetrap commercial.
Are we playing Ghostbuster?
Here we saw the commercial earlier, and yes, Joey said he wanted to flip the son of a bitch over.
That's what started my career right there, guys.
So, my biggest pet peeve in this game was the fucking wishbone. Anybody? Anybody else have a different one or?
The Charlie horse was a bitch.
True.
Yeah.
Charlie horse was tough, and the bucket because you couldn't. Well, you could grab the bottom of the bucket, but you're probably best trying to grab the handle, or else you're shocking your shit. I want to hook up like a tens unit to one of these, and like where you get fucking jolted if you get it wrong. Like
where you legitimately get shocked. It's not just a buzzy noise, Charlie. You get zapped.
I could just see like a version of this at Dave and Buster's. Like I remember Dave and Buster's has the thing where you hold on to the two metal probes and it just zaps you and see how many points you can get. Yeah, that's why I'm still kind
Anal
of shaky
probes.
and weird.
I like it.
Oh, jeez. You had to go there, didn't you? You had to go there.
But this game was a lot of fun. I will say that.
Yeah. I mean, talk about creativity. What in the hell were they smoking when they made this one? Yeah, man. Let's make it where you gotta like take pieces of their body out, man. Yeah, and if you fuck up, it shocks your face.
The thing is, why is there like a dog and like a wrench? Like, what the fuck was this man eating? Who was not watching him eat? Who's gonna eat these things?
Yeah, that's a good point. And when they eat it, how'd it get in his fucking leg?
Same.
Yeah, they definitely had no clue about human anatomy when they designed this.
I
game.
like to play a different version of Doctor.
This game was made of a freaking stoner. Some stoner made this, tripping on acid, and was like, yes, let's put all these things inside of a naked man and make it vibrate when you get it wrong.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about being an anatomically correct game of this, but there might be an triple X version of this out there somewhere where you got to take something out the dong or the hoo-ha.
Or he's flipped over.
Yes. Oh, right in the dupa cheeks. All right, let's talk about this one. Anybody who's played it?
I've done it.
I have a story.
I've done it.
They weren't allowed in my house.
Same. I'll let you go first, Blaise.
In college, my parents wouldn't have wanted me to play this in the house either. So in college, my freshman year, which I called it 13th grade because I went to a branch campus of a larger campus. So I called it 13th grade. I called it high school without parents because there was 500 of us and we all knew each other very well. So it was a small little town here in southwestern Pennsylvania. And my friends, which was all experimenting on drugs and alcohol pretty much every day. So we decided to take one of these up to the local cemetery.
Oh, Lord.
And put it on some gravestones and play it. Needless to say, we had some very creative people that wanted to scare, like we'd get the weakest link to take them up. Come on, you can do it. And then scare the piss out of them by spelling out some dumb shit. So has anyone ever played this game where they think it actually moved on its own? They really sold it when we were doing that. I almost bought into it the one time. But it's normally someone pushing it around. So
I played this thing. I honestly will say I don't believe in them. I think they're full of shit.
Yeah.
If something really wanted to move it, it could. But honestly, it's probably another person. I actually did this in when I was working at the Haunt. We had one on one of the tables. So me and some friends started fucking with it. And they're like, oh my God, it's moving. I'm like, oh yeah, watch this. I grabbed that stupid little top piece and I chucked it. This thing did not do nothing. Like, I sat there with it for, like, because it was in the same room as me for hours. And I even tried, like, talking to the thing. It did nothing.
Yeah.
It did absolutely nothing for me. So I'm like,
I've done the same thing.
You don't want to be friends? I don't want to be friends with you.
I've done the same thing, Joey. I'm going to make sure. I'm going to see if this thing works all by myself and be like, go ahead, do it. I dare you to move it. So LA says,
like, I
LA says
for,
take
like, hours with it.
Take 10 different board games and overlap them and then just have like a marathon race of board games. That's pretty creative. That would be fun.
That would be fun.
With a couple bottles of liquor. Hell yes, that's a party.
Lord.
You can always turn all these board games into drinking games, by the way.
All day. Every single one of them.
Yep.
Pretty much. That's like the one thing I love about a board game. It could always be turned into something more fun.
Another game that wanted to scare the shit out of you. Why did so many games want to scare you?
I hated this game.
This is a timing game, and
I used to step on those pieces and get so mad.
I was so good at this game.
I hated that game. I had it as a little kid, and that thing got thrown at the wall so many goddamn times.
Monstar had.
See, I agree with Nacho. Throw them at the wall.
Yeah, they should call this frustration, not perfection.
Yeah.
Because you hear the little timer getting faster and faster. You know it's almost done, and you're like, "Hurry the fuck up! Hurry the fuck up!" Pop right in your face, right in your face. Pop all over your face and down your back, right
on the face.
So this is a good way to scare some of your friends.
And that was a really big load if it's going on your face and then down your back.
Hey, you never know.
Right?
I don't remember this one. Does anyone remember this?
This is gonna make all the Italian people excited. I remember. I can say that because I'm one of them.
Yes. I was gonna say.
Yeah. I remember the box, but I don't think I've ever played it or anything.
Monstar always lost to perfection. Perfection is probably the cause of some people's OCD. Maybe. Yeah. It seems like one of those games that you're in a crazy house trying to play. Pizza Party, we will see a commercial for it later on. So
I've never played that one though.
Me either. I saw it and I was like, you know what? Just for the sake of adding one obscure one that maybe no one's played. What are you trying to do? Make a pizza? How do you know your pizza's right or wrong? Does someone order a certain one? I don't know.
No idea.
Like, what if I want some green on top of my red, but I want some blue in it?
Exactly.
And a little bit of yellow.
Okay. One of my favorites.
Yeah.
This is one I really
had a lot of versions too.
Yes.
This game made me very competitive. I'm not gonna lie.
Now, this is one that I have to admit, I was a tabletop tipper on this one and really pissed my friends off because if you've played Risk, it can go 3, 4, 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get to the point where you're down to 3 or 2 people and someone screws you over and beating you. So basically, it's a game of world domination. You want to take over the entire world based on attacking different countries that connect.
Fucking Sean, all the little Italians be like, Mamma mia! I fucking love that guy.
Castle Risk, interesting. Sounds like a medieval version, I guess, or something.
Yeah. I've played a Star Wars version of it and Lord of the Rings also.
Shout out to
Sparks
Zach.
and Raves, welcome to the stream.
Raven's in the house. Good to see you, Birdie. Welcome in.
So, this is one game I could have played for hours and loved, but every time if you put me on a team, I'd literally want to throw my team member out the window because every time I made a team with somebody, they'd be like, "Oh, let's make an alliance." No, fuck you and your alliance. I'm taking over. Fuck your alliances. If you're playing with me, I'm competitive. And I get drunk.
I hear that in Shalky's voice. I can read that. I hear it in her voice in my head. So there was a Sega Genesis version of this game, which is basically press the button and watch the dice roll and then attack and try to take over. And man, we had some endless nights playing this version of this game. And like Nacho said, if it's a popular thing, make a million different versions of it. And the Game of Risk. There is a digital one from the Hasbro games, and I'd love to.
It's actually on one of my Hasbro game packs.
Yeah, me too. And I played it by myself, and it's really fun. I got to dig deeper to see if there's like an abbreviated version of the game where it's not going to take forever. Like I think because it shows like the picture of the attack, and you can shorten that at least. I think. Instead of it taking 3 or 4 hours, maybe an hour or something, I would be fun to do that with 4 or 5 of us trying to take over the world. It would just suck for whoever's out first because they're like out of the game. I wouldn't mind if it was me. I can just sit here and clown on everybody and commentate, I guess.
I'd be down for it. Why?
I did get some bad news that Shifty will not be back. He has to take care of some family business. So, but definitely stay tuned for PDW Wrestling coming up in about a half an hour as well. Scrabble.
The dirtiest game that wasn't designed to be dirty.
Yes.
Just like
I can't spell.
Yeah, I don't have Upwards on here as a game, but Upwards was the same thing, but you can go up and change the word and spell with letters. So when we played Upwards, we changed the name to Cuss Words. And the game was you either used a real legitimate cuss word or if you made up a weird name like, I don't know, schmegma's a really word, but I was going to say, if you made up a weird, wacky cuss word and say there's 6 people playing, you had to make up a definition so someone could call you out on bullshit. That's not a word on cuss words. And you had to poll the other 5 people. And if they voted based on your definition, you could make that an actual word and play it. So we really got creative with cuss Upwards. Yeah. So cuss words was fun with Scrabble. Scrabble, I'm just like you, Nacho. I wasn't good with spelling. Like people that could use the QU or the Z a bunch of times, you motherfuckers. quiche, spelling quiche or some shit like that. And
queso.
His grandma loves Scrabble.
Brian LG.
Grandma.
Hello.
Brian LG, good to see you. And there's another one where you could challenge them literally. That's where we got the challenge part to make up a definition. You're like, no, it's not a fucking word. And you had to look it up, I guess. Scrabble. Classic.
I'm not a fella, but I'll say hi to you.
Hey, fella. Let's go to more like a handheld game, but still more
I
than one
remember
player.
this one.
Another memory game, which pissed me off because only
Yep.
after so long. You have to remember the sequence.
It was like Bop It, pretty much.
Yes, exactly. This is the,
well, it actually is the same thing as Bop It.
Yeah,
I'm not
this
gonna lie.
is-
That's the same thing. It's just Bop It was like a circle. This is like like with weird knobs and pulling things.
This is Bop It with
Twist
colors.
it.
Yeah, I got to apologize to Chance. Whenever he watches this, he wanted us to cover Bop It, and I do not have it in the list for some reasons, unfortunately.
Yeah, this is like.
How do you not have Bop
I'm
It?
so sorry.
Bop It.
Punish me.
Twist it.
Punish me.
Pull it. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, come on. This is Bop It was a dirty game if y'all really want.
Yeah,
I got
and
with
really
Chance to be here for that.
That's the commercial I need to find, right? The Bop It commercial.
Yeah,
Have Chance redo the commercial.
very, very
Um,
suggestive.
Simon, great game, and a lot of different games evolved off of that, like Bop It, and other ones with memory and colors and knobs and twisty.
Oh,
Another
this
one to make
fucking game.
It's another fuck you game.
I hate this game.
The worst part about this game, if you're playing it with a friend who loves to be an asshole.
Me.
Yeah.
Totally me. I was the asshole in this game.
And then you got to make the voice too. Sorry, and be a dick about it, you know.
Sorry.
I believe we have a sorry commercial coming up, so we'll get to enjoy that one and probably
I'm
some
ignoring that one when it
funky
comes
jingle.
on.
All right, here's what LA was talking about earlier, and I actually have the game. This is fantasy baseball, E-Fed before anything happened with computers and stuff. Stratomatic Baseball was basically a board game where you had all these rules, rolling a dice, picking a card. This is a steal. This is a hit. This is that. And they went as far, and I know licensing and stuff would change this now, to have each card. This is Tony Gwynn's card. You got Ken Griffey Jr. at every team and every player. So it was very, very, very in-depth. And like LA said, there was a Stratomatic hockey, Stratomatic football. These games were amazing. Now, this game, as I was talking about beforehand, I found on eBay right now for $450. So apparently it's some kind of collector's item. Mine's a little beat up, so I mean, but I would sell this shit for $100. I'll never play it again. But I mean, I got creative. I actually had the score sheets and would keep score of the game when I played. So this is the beginnings of what I do for LTD, because I'm just as crazy how I play LTD as this. LA had the Stratomatic football game. And welcome James Sargent's in the building. CSWA, my friend. Good to see you.
See, this is one I never played. I never played this one.
Well, it was
Sounds like D&D for like jocks, basically.
Yes, exactly what it
Jockstrap
is.
D&D.
Great. No, jock straps. Exactly what it is. It is like a D&D and this was a classic, and there was many versions of it too.
Trivial Pursuit.
It looks
The
hippie. I like it.
This is the game that made me want pie.
All pie.
Yeah, to get all the pie. And there was 80s version, there was TV version, there was classic, all kinds of. This is the one that kind of put trivia really on the map. Yeah, different. I mean, it made trivia even more acceptable and worldwide, because Trivial Pursuit became a big freaking deal.
Yeah, between that and Jeopardy.
Yes, exactly. Jeopardy's another one, and that's why I want to do game shows as one of these LOD streams. I definitely want to do game shows, 80s game shows and 80s sitcoms. Shulky doesn't like. The one thing about this game is, though, too, if you had someone who owned the game and remembered all the questions, they got better at it.
Yeah,
because it was multiple choice. If someone had a really good memory, they would end up knowing, oh, I remember that question. It's this, even though I shouldn't know the answer to that. Trivial Pursuit, pop culture. Yep, that was a good one. That was a good one. Pretty much what we're covering here today and on these LOD streams is pop culture. As far as nerdy, geeky, dorky pop culture. The Pop-O-Matic bubble, baby.
Yes.
I used to play this game with myself. It's fun to play. Obviously, fun to play with 4 different people, but I found ways to play with it by myself to see what color would win. Just for the
I
shit.
did too.
Shits
I
and
did
giggles.
too.
This game was a lot of fun.
Thank you, Kathy, for making me look like a complete moron loser. It was fun. It looks so basic.
But that's what was fun about it.
Yep. And this is another screw your neighbor type thing and send them back.
Yep.
Because if you pop that fucking thing right on the thing and send them back home, you're a dick or you're an asshole. Almost done with the classics here, and there's not a lot in the other 2 segments. Everybody loves Twister, right?
The best game ever.
Yep. Naked Twister took it to a different level, of course.
Oh, come on. That was the funnest version.
He was evil with Trouble. Yeah, Trouble, you can be a real asshole. Kids meals here. This is kids meals here at McDonald's. What are you talking about, Machete?
Trouble.
Oh, okay.
I've been McDonald's for years.
So Twister was to see which one of your friends was the most agile. Flexible. Yes. Twister, everybody. All right.
The game all the boys wanted the girls to play just so they could watch.
Yes, exactly. And vice versa. To some people do as well. Uno. And we've played Uno online. There's a Masters of the Universe version there, which is pretty damn cool. And another example of a game which so many different. I mean, Cassie, we played that online. What are those? Some of those motherfucking ones that piss me off with the different rules.
Rabbids.
It's crazy.
With the special cards.
Yep.
And then you have like the house rules you can turn on where like you have to draw until you get a card that you can play.
Or like you gotta watch what you say around these people. She's not flexible at all. Cassie, you gotta teach her a couple tricks.
Just need more practice.
We'll work you out, honey.
So Uno, we have and we will play more online Uno, and in the description of this stream, you'll find Cassie's link for her channel. Definitely check that out. Tomorrow night we'll be doing Jackbox, as well as Shifties for later on tonight. His link is in the description as well, and so is Chris's, even though Chance isn't here. We have Uno, a classic game that can really piss off people too. Shulky knows when she has 47 cards in her hand.
Shulky was making the rabbit's noise. The wah.
Oh, geez, there you go. Thanks, Shulky. I had a handheld Yahtzee game that kept me busy on a lot of trips to the beach and vacations and stuff. Just write my hand to see if I could beat the high score. So Yahtzee is a game you can play by yourself if you really want to. Just try to beat your high score.
Yeah,
that was always a fun game when I was growing up. Yahtzee, I liked that one.
Yep.
I grew up in like a very house of like yelling, so I was used to Yahtzee.
Good
dice and Italian, so we like to yell and snap our fingers when we talk. But yes, Yahtzee was one I was played at my house like religiously.
And it also
actually I still have that at my mom's house.
You had to be able to add if you're going to play Yahtzee.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
you got no math.
And I believe that's it for the classics. Back to the Parcheesi board there and everything.
For D&D.
So classics, and to move right along, we'll get into. We have 2 more segments, but those are a lot of the big ones. If you talk about classic board games and family games of old school, but let's go ahead and get ready for our next set. But we're going to look at a couple commercials of those that we just saw. So we'll be back in just a second. This is my favorite commercial. Pretty sneaky, sis.
The name of the game is Connect 4.
Gotcha. 4 cross. One more game.
Object, connect 4 of your checkers in a row while preventing your opponent from doing the same. But look out, your opponent can sneak up on you and win the game.
I won. Where? I can't. Here, diagonally. Pretty sneaky, sis.
Connect 4, the vertical checkers game from Milton Bradley.
What a bitch. Here, diagonally. Duh. She's such a bitch about it. And he's just like, slaps it open at the end. That's a classic.
You should have threw it at her.
Here
you go, bitch.
Now that's when, before she points it out, you flip the switch and be like, I don't see shit.
And that was, that's taking checkers to another level, basically. It was a fun game, definitely. And everyone, you see the chat blow up. Connect 4, definitely a favorite. Let's go to the next one. We already talked about it. Now let's watch the commercial. It's an interesting commercial.
Battleship presents Famous Sinkings. April 9th, 1987. Fleet Commander Robbie Grant fires the shot that sinks his brother's destroyer. This glorious moment is remembered as the last time Robbie was allowed in Michael's room. August 19th, 1987. Playing electronic battleship, Admiral Harold Burns Jr. programs a devastating attack. Dad says,
"You sank my battleship."
And history is made. Battleship and electronic battleship from Milton Bradley. It's a hit.
I love how the first one there, like the kid's not allowed in his brother's room because he.
Fuck you, Dad.
You beat me. Get the fuck out.
Dad's all pissed. What happened to letting the kids win, man? Dad's like,
never.
Right?
Never.
Dad, you
alcoholic father's mad.
And of course, it brought that famous saying, "You sunk my battleship." Why is the little kid transparent? What are you smoking?
You kicked your brother out of his bedroom.
Yeah, that commercial definitely makes you go, "You sank my battleship." Yeah, why do you get punished for losing in a game or something?
Right?
What the fuck is up with that?
Banned from the room forever. You're not allowed in here.
All right, we got one more commercial before we get to the next segment. Joey said this is one of his favorites. Here's your commercial.
Give that back!
Mouse trouble? Then you need Mousetrap. Mousetrap, I guarantee it's the craziest trap you'll ever see. The first to capture everyone else's mouse is the winner. Just turn the crank and snap the blank and boot the marble right down the chute. Now watch it roll and hit the pole and knock the ball in the rubbered up tub, which fits the man into the pan. The trap is set. Here comes the net. Ouch! Mousetrap, I guarantee it's the craziest trap you'll ever see. I knew you were a winner. Mousetrap from Milton Bradley.
Kick the man. Best part about that commercial. Anybody?
Oh, the pole.
Whoa. Anybody know who that was in the commercial? Whoa. Look closely. That's Joey Lawrence.
Yeah, I can't.
That's Joey Lawrence.
Whoa.
Yeah, exactly. Whoa.
Give that back!
Mouse.
Hey, you little fucking rat, give that back. Joey Lawrence. That's where he started his career, apparently. All right.
As a mousetrap kid.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
exactly. Mousetrap. It's a great little jam, too. I mean, me and Joey were kicking it in the back there as we were watching that. You got to.
You got to dance to that.
Kick the man. Kick the man? Come on, man. All right, let's get into a handful of games that were based off of TV and movie. Some funky music there, man. So we got some of these games I did not know were games, but they're based off of a lot of TV and movies from back in the day, and a lot of them were game shows turned into board games. And I can't wait to do the board game ones because it's a lot of fun. All right, here we go. One of my favorite games. $10,000.
I loved watching that show. Used to watch that.
I liked the show. I never played the game.
So it was categories and answers that you had to get the other person to guess by not saying those words, right?
You need to turn into Uno.
Very fun. Hi, Ivy.
Hi, Ivy.
You need to turn into Uno.
Uno, yes.
He-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one, Sean. After school specials. There was a
There's
lot of very
special
weird
time.
after school specials back in the day. So a $10,000 pyramid game based off the TV game show. Very cool. Oh, that's very old too. As you can see the actual game there. I paid a fool that don't beat me in the A-team game.
Wow. Oh, Mr. T.
No clue. I didn't know there was a game of A-team.
I never played this game, never heard of it, but I'm probably be terrified because I think Mr. T's gonna come out there and beat me up.
My older brothers had this game, but I really don't remember much other than the box.
I'm sure you're trying to catch a criminal or something. I guess
probably something like that.
Get to the. It looks like it winds into the middle, so get to the center to solve a crime, or I don't know.
There's
Crime
probably
has bullet holes and everything.
Probably some way to drug Mr. T and get him on the plane.
Let's go back to the 70s, man. Look at him. Look at that mustache. Look at 2 mustaches.
It's demented.
It's demented.
I stalked him for years. I know that mustache.
Barney Miller's kid. The 12th precinct gang. Barney Miller, go figure. Another one where you probably tried to solve a crime.
Or become a criminal.
Or be a criminal. Yep. Shoots and ladders or Game of Life. No, it's Batman and Robin. I think it says and Robin in there too. I'm guessing dicing
I love
cards.
the Joker they have in that one though.
Yeah, very cool looking Joker. And the Penguin with that big pointy nose and his little monocle. Hannibal stabs everyone and the game ends on the 18th.
And I love that Robin's in short shorts in this version.
Monstar's making a Dick Clark call. Good for you. Go play with your dick. Batman. There you go.
Wear short shorts.
Everything.
I wear.
And at one point, everything, and this is one of my favorite movies of all time. Captain Chaos. I actually made him in 2K18. We saw him on my show not too long ago. But of course, Burt Reynolds, Dean Martin, some great stars in that. Sammy Davis was a trip. Roger Moore was my favorite Bond. I'm sorry if anyone else liked any other Bonds. Roger Moore was my favorite. And Joey knocked over his phone.
I was attacked by an animal.
But Cannonball Run was basically a coast-to-coast race, a movie where you started in the East Coast and raced to California, and damn did they get into some funny shit on the way. A great movie from the 80s, one of my favorites. I never played the game, though, but when I saw this, I was like, yep, got to cover this one. Cannonball. All right, I guess I'm the only one that really loved the Cannonball Run. It was, a lot of people consider it was a corny, dumb movie, but very star-studded. Anybody Charlie's Angels
Charlie's
fan?
Angels, the board game.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's a game about me being like Cassie's Charlie's Angels, but she's like Charlie.
Thank you, Cougar.
Now
Thank
this
you,
a hoe.
Cougar. At least someone else loved the Cannonball Run.
I liked the movie, but I never played the Cannonball.
Bruce Lee was in it too.
Oh, biting.
Not Bruce Lee. Jackie Chan doing Bruce Lee moves. So I guess Charlie's Angel, you're probably solving a crime and catching the bad guy once again. A lot of that theme in old school TV, I guess. All right. Coming up next. Cheers, where everybody knows your name. Now, what's the idea of this game? Get
I
drunk?
did not know they had a board game for this
Me
one.
either.
Wow. Yeah, that's a little weird.
So, like, what is like based on a bar? Like, you gotta get drunk to this game? I'm guessing.
I
Is
didn't
that
look
what this
into
one's
it.
for?
You
But-
got to be Norm. Norm.
I mean, I don't know. I forget what the girl's name that he's always trying to date, or what about Carla, the bartender, or I don't know. Is
Like
this
if you
Woody,
land on-
the
Woody?
Yeah, if you
There was
land
some
on
great.
Bruce
That's a
Lee,
great
like,
show, iconic show.
You have to listen to trivia.
It was a good show.
It could be
Never
trivia or something like that. Who knows? But you're all sitting
Si-
around at the bar getting drunk.
Side note: I absolutely love that Woody Harrelson's character was named Woody because I mean,
He looks
it's
like
almost like you're too dumb to know any
Yeah.
other name
He looks
than
like
your
a Woody.
own.
That was a great character. by the
character
way.
was dumb
That show is
too.
just full of. Speaking of characters,
Oh wow.
Chips, Poncho.
I did not know this one had one either.
Me
I'm sure
either.
you're catching bad
Oh,
guys, catching the criminals. One of my favorite shows when I was a kid. No lie, loved it.
Loved that.
Absolutely loved Chips.
That was a good
Coach,
show.
Coach, the OG bartender. Yes, good old Coach. The drunkest person wins. See, Jessica knows. That's probably what it is. Yeah, rule 1. If there's something exists, there will be a board game of it.
It's like
Pretty
Cops and
much.
Robbers, but a board game.
From the minds of She-Hulk Chick. Perfect. Chips, the game. Who knew? Les Jeux. It's. I didn't even notice that it said it's. What is it? French or something? Look, it says Les Jeux. I'm not sure. Is it a French
Les
game?
Jeux.
The game? Does that mean the game? I don't know French. Another one of my favorite TV
Jeux.
shows. Didn't know it had a board game, but I'm sure you're trying to catch the bad guys in it.
Probably.
Or you're trying to catch the brothers.
Yes, Dukes of Hazzard was the shit, man. I love that game.
Jumping
Who didn't?
stuff, probably.
Got some Daisy Dukes and Hey Now and Bo and Luke and good old Boss Hogg and Roscoe P. Coltrane. I want to name my son Roscoe P. Coltrane, and then my last name if I.
My dog I had growing up, his name was Roscoe.
Oh. Another one, catching the bad guy. I'm sure the Fall Guy had a board game.
Wow. I remember the show.
Sounds like you're pushing people over in this game. Fall Guy.
This Nacho, this whole segment is pretty much. I remember the show or movie, TV show, but I didn't know it had a board game.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's when I started finding these. I was like, "Yep, that's a segment." Didn't know it had a board game segment.
Excuse me.
That's a trippy looking board as well.
Excuse me.
What's up, Ivy?
What's up, Ivy?
When the lady was talking, she said that she had a dog named something, and I don't know why, but as my dad said, Roscoe, it reminds me of my baby cousin Reese. He's who is 0 years old.
1-0. I love it.
For some reason.
Cody, yes, I mentioned that earlier. We're definitely going to hit 90s cartoons, and that's going to cover mainly SpongeBob, Beavis and Butthead, Simpsons, Ren and Stimpy, and South Park, and that is going to be a hoot. That's definitely going to be fun.
It's going to be a 3-hour show.
Probably.
Just because of the Simpsons and South Park.
Yeah, it's going to have to be very abbreviated, just covering each one, and then maybe talking about other 90s cartoons. Family Feud, definitely a game. I think I streamed Family Feud on here before. Cassie,
you did.
Yeah, and it was really fun.
You did one Family Feud stream, and it was flipping hilarious.
Yeah, we need to bring that one back. Same thing with the Battleship. So that's kind of why I wanted to do this show, because I wanted to definitely promote Cassie's Jackbox streams and some of the other ones, the Uno, the Monopoly, and then I do want to bring back some of these board games and stream them on here on YouTube for you guys. But Family Feud, just the answers and the characters, we had a ball with it.
The worst thing about the actual show though is when they're given answers and then somebody says an answer that is not on the board, and everybody's there. Good answer.
Good answer. Good
answer.
It's always a good answer on that show. Another one. Remember the show? Didn't know it had a game. Didn't know it had a game.
Hey, it had sequels too.
What in the hell? What in the hell is the idea behind this game? What are you going to try to
This
accomplish?
had a game?
That's what I'm saying. Apparently. Oh, Mr. Tanner. Now, what would you do? What would be the object of this game? I don't know.
You got to try to get Danny to marry off so the girls can have a mom. I don't know.
Yeah. So Full House had a board game.
Pick Joey out of the basement.
Love that show, by the way. Another show I loved back in the day. Didn't know how to game. From the 70s normally is Happy Days. Monday, Happy Days.
Hey. Nose with a rubber hose.
Fonzarelli. I wonder if you get to jump the shark in this game.
Yes.
That's where that came from. Literally jumping the shark. How rude. How rude. Cougar remembers Full House.
What do you want?
All right.
Hi.
Oh, puppy. We got another special guest.
It's a puppy.
Another one of my favorite games.
Hollywood Squares.
Along with Match Game, Hollywood Squares and Match Game, those people did so much coke on those shows, and it was totally obvious.
I think we should do one of these games. Seriously, one of these games would be fun.
Match Game was great because it was just try to guess the word, and it was all real over the top, innuendo for most of the answers. If it had innuendo, sexual innuendo, we were going there.
Well, the questions themselves were really
something
dicey.
Blank. It's always blank. And it was like, oh my God, how can you not answer that with a funny blank?
Jane was going to the store and she was in the produce aisle. She needed to check the firmness of her blank.
Hollywood Squares always had a bunch of famous people too, and some of the funniest people too on there. So they always tried to do jokes and stuff.
Joanne Rivers always on the Hollywood Squares.
Classic Jeopardy. I did better.
I know they have a newer one to this.
I did better with the sports version, or some of these categories. History and science. I ain't doing very good in those ones now.
Yeah, and that one's had a lot of video games too. I remember playing it on the NES back in the day.
Hollywood Squares episodes are funny as shit.
There's a digital one, I think, on DVD for this game, actually.
Almost. What do you mean? You typed it, Shalky. Brian Hernsberger, good to see you, my friend. Welcome in. We're winding it down. We got one more little segment here. All right. Jeopardy's a great one. couple more that didn't know they had games. Loved the show. I was a huge kid fan. Loved Knight Rider. I'm sure you tried to catch the bad guy in this game.
Mr. Feeny in car form. I mean,
I love Knight Rider, man. I could watch that show even now, anytime.
That was a great
And the land of the lost.
I loved this movie with Will Ferrell.
Yep. Good movie. Good way
the
back
TV show.
Yep.
Yeah,
And,
which
TV
Joey's
show.
too young to know.
yeah, TV show definitely came first, but the movie as well. He's a baby.
I'm
Definitely
dirty
Land of the
30
Lost.
and young.
Didn't even know it had a game, but okay. Everything did. Even Murder, She Wrote.
I loved that TV show. Me
was
and my
good.
mom watched it all the time.
It was good.
Same.
It was good.
Watch it with my mom all the time.
I was in a nutsack when this one came out. I wasn't even alive.
Murder, She Wrote, definitely an old classic TV show into a board game. Solved the crime, I'm sure.
Angela Lansbury's the shit.
Little Jessica Fletcher.
The Price is Right.
Price is wrong, bitch. Yeah, Price is Right. Board
$1.
game. Yep, $1. I hate that people did that shit.
Me too.
Or when they went $1 under the other person or some shit.
Or
like,
over.
No,
$1
I mean.
over.
Yeah, 501, bitch.
$16.
Ew.
I always wanted to spin that wheel. I always wanted to try to spin that big wheel at the end. I think that would have been fun. That's all I want to do. I just want to run up onto the stage and be like, and that's it.
Yeah,
that's my dream. I'm a simpleton.
The thing, for some reason, the thing I always remember about Price is Right is Bob Barker at the end. Remember to spay and neuter your pets.
Yeah, and his little microphone, that real long, skinny microphone he had.
Yeah.
Say by the bell.
Yeah.
I have a Zach Morris phone. I
Okay,
work for
this one I
Verizon.
actually knew, but I did not play the game.
Zach Morris is
But I watched the TV show.
Screech, Monstar's favorite. Screech, his favorite actor out there.
Rip.
I'm a Lisa Turtle fan. I like me some Lisa Turtle and Kelly Kapowski, of course. Gotta love
Jesse
me some. I
Spano. The
was
original women
girl.
empowerment.
I didn't like her. She was kind of
Blew
too
my mind.
bitchy for me. I like Lisa and Kelly a little better.
And the episode when she was like hooked on caffeine.
Okay,
pills.
who didn't like
Yes.
Kelly though?
That's right. Yeah, Kelly was a good one. Well, Zach did.
Who wasn't watching
So-
Kelly in her bathing suit?
Everybody on the
though?
show liked her too, apparently. All right.
Kelly.
Couple more of these, and we get to the last segment, which is only a couple. Seinfeld had a game. Now, wasn't this? No, this is a coffee table game. I think this was like
This is
trivia.
like-
Was it Seinfeld trivia? I believe, or something.
Probably.
Probably.
I'm gonna
Sure,
guess
looks-
that's trivia.
Yeah, just
Yeah, I
looking
don't
at
know.
on the box there, it looks like it would be a trivia game.
Yep. My favorite show when I was a kid, I used to run around the living room real slow, like he did. $6 Million Man. Steve Austin. Before Steve Austin was Stone Cold, he was the $6 Million Man.
Back when you still had hair.
Yep. And I don't know what the game would be about, but you're trying to catch the bad guy.
Probably.
Recurring theme here in these games.
Or you are the bad guy.
Now, this is a
Ooh.
VCR game. We'll get into more of those in the next segment. But VHS games came into play later on, and there was a Star Trek game, apparently.
Yeah, there was a lot of those VCR games.
Yep. And where basically, I mean, it's not really in depth where like video is now, but it does have that, okay, time to press play on the VHS, and it's going to tell you where to go next or what your next option is before you can go on. So definitely the beginning of the evolution to digital family games as far as the board games or regular dice. And now these ones I don't remember. Nacho, you're going to have to help
Star
clue
Trek
me
with the
in.
Borg.
But these were board game. They were games. I don't remember these. Do you? It looks like one of those.
I don't think I ever played it. Like
It looks like one of those. You
familiar.
got to send away for the character thing, and you get a game with it. I don't know.
I don't know. Like it looks familiar, but I don't remember it really.
Any Star Wars fans out there that know what the hell this game is? But I guess there was a couple of them. We lost.
We
Cassie
lost
again.
Cassie.
She'll be back. Technical difficulties, I'm sure. We'll get her back here in a second.
Words you're not allowed to say.
So as soon as she comes back, I'll pop her back up. Dun dun dun. So here's another one. Another one. See, I think these were. I don't know. I didn't look into it enough.
I don't
It
get
seems
why
like
Star Wars would have board
you
games.
buy the game just to get the figure.
Yes, that's where I was at with it. I didn't know if it was like get the figure, but there's some kind of game that goes along with that figure because this is obviously a pilot from the Hoth, and then you get to, I guess, go on an adventure on the planet Hoth. I'm not sure.
Maybe you got to build like a machine or something. I'm guessing with that.
Shocky,
Like, something you
Captain
gotta build.
Obvious. It looks like a game that comes with a bonus figure. And it had sticker book. There you go, a little more detail. Sticker book says Machete. I think there's one more. What's up?
All of the games that came with like a figure or something that I have normally either like a character that you play as.
Oh, so like yeah, that's probably like if you get that character, you could probably play as that character in the game as well. So definitely tying a game into a toy is pretty clever. I dig it. I get the marketing aspect of it.
Definitely.
And so people don't just buy the game for the figure. You can also play along as it.
Also, makes us.
That's what.
More
Yeah, it's more than just a figure where you can actually play a game with it. Another VHS game, interactive video board game, as they were calling it. Darth Vader
footage
that you've never seen before.
Star Wars.
Luke, I am your father.
Another very good one. Very good one. And I think we got a couple more in this segment and one more segment to go. Hey, Mr. Carter. I love Vinny Barbarino.
I love that show.
Great show. Horseshack was great. Epstein, all of them.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. It was very, very like bad kids, I want to say, without saying they were a bunch of assholes.
Says the up your nose with a rubber hose game.
Yes.
Welcome back, Cotter. That was the name of the TV show.
Up your nose with a rubber hose.
No, it was basically the ADD class before there was an ADD class.
Yep.
Yeah.
The behavior class, like what your brother.
Troubled kids, if I could say so. They were probably the bad kids in one class.
The kids that wouldn't sit still, the kids that wouldn't pay attention.
The kids that threw spitballs.
The kids would be on Ritalin nowadays.
Wheel.
I hope it had a giant wheel to it.
I don't know.
It did not. I had this
If it didn't come with Vanna White, I don't want it.
Yeah,
It's an upsetting game then. I don't want it.
It had like a little spin wheel, like Life did.
If you want some real entertaining stuff with Wheel of Fortune, there are some YouTube videos with the dumbest Wheel of Fortune answers. It's hilarious.
Excuse me?
Yes, ma'am.
That's all I was going to say.
Oh! I was going to say,
Don't you eat when that happens?
It happens to me all the time. The older you get, the more it happens, girl. So don't worry about it. It's all good. Another classic. It was a TV show into a board game. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
I love this game.
Who's going to say no? No, nah. I'd rather not be a millionaire. No thanks.
I want to be a millionaire.
Hell yeah, everyone wants to be a millionaire. So more trivia and such to climb that proverbial ladder to make more and more. So that is TV and movies. We have one more segment that we'll tie in, but before we do that, let's take a little commercial break.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Been a murder.
Always dead he is.
It's a classic game of Clue. Who done it, where they done it, and with which weapon they done it with.
I say it was in the kitchen with the wrench by Miss Scarlet.
He's dead and alive, Brevy, with a bloody lead pipe.
Knife.
Oh, right. The killer is Mr. Green.
Well, it could have been someone else.
The game of Clue. And now there's Clue mystery puzzles. Solve puzzling crimes piece by piece.
Was that Raven? What a bloody lead top pipe! It sounded like Raven, didn't it?
I thought Raven was in there.
It sounded like it. The best is the old guy. Got to hear the old guy.
Murder.
Always dead he is.
It's a classic game of Clue. Who done it, where they done it, and with which weapon they done it with.
I say it was in the kitchen with the wrench by.
I say it was in the kitchen with the wrench. That's just over the top, man. You gotta love it. All right, we got
Stupid Colonel Mustard.
I know, you bastards. All right, Here's the game that pissed a lot of people off. We were talking about earlier.
Sorry. Hot Pursuit is the name of the game.
Sorry, from Parker Brothers.
Funny.
Those kids' parents should be saying sorry for those haircuts.
I know, really. Hey, when I did have hair, I had a nice little bowl cut when I was younger. We got two more little funny commercials for the last segment, but first let's take a moment to thank all the members of the channel and show you how you can be a member here in the Blaise Radio Network here on YouTube.
This is a recording.
Please hang up and try your call again. If you need help, hang up and then dial your operator.
I say it every time after that little commercial. That's one of my favorite beats. I made that beat from scratch, and I always wanted to make a song with all the old school phone sounds, the busy signal, the please hang up, try again, all that. So a lot of people that are younger don't know
The
what all
AOL
those-
sound.
Yeah, now let's see. That's past that. I'm talking about dial up with the old rotary
phones.
Yes, sir. All right, we this game we talked about. No one really knew what it was about. So let's see if the commercial can clue us in. Clue pod.
Party, pizza party. Party, pizza party.
Hey, look here, there's a brand new game, Pizza Party. That's the name. You make a pizza, as you can see, with onions, mushrooms, or pepperoni. You could lose if you have to switch, so you'd better be sharp. You better be slick.
Party, pizza party. Come on. Party, pizza party.
All right, I still don't know what the fuck the game's
I
about.
totally remember that game now
You
from
do?
that commercial. I do.
That would just make Italian people mad.
Oh, yeah. So
just got home.
I don't know if that explained or cleared up anything at all. You know.
Well,
But pizza party.
you drew cards to earn your pieces to fill your pizza slice, but if you drew a switch card, you had to rotate your slice.
Ah, you took their Okay. Uno for pizza.
Do you mean Riley?
Pretty
This is like making fun of Italian people.
Yeah, I know. Really, very
Yeah, that was a horrible
stereotypical
commercial.
Italian. Now, I loved like in the late '80s and early '90s when hip hop and rap started to get more popular. All these real corny rap jingles that came out. That was a perfect example of that. Trying to be hip, but nice try, I guess. Speaking of being hip, back in the day, I had Grinder Gang. Here he is. I know you got your phone now. You off work? You better be able to pop in here if you can, birthday boy.
He popped in the Facebook chat saying he just got home.
Well, get your ass in here. No excuses. We got a couple more things to cover. You need to get your dupa in here. Now, if you're like me, back in the early 90s, I had 4 names for where I lived. And this was the reason why.
It's the best part of the day.
You put all your cares away.
Get ready for a smile on your face.
It's just the right time and just the right place. The music you love, the movies you share, the things that make you care.
Keeping value high, we'll serve you so. Our relationship will grow and grow.
Look for special Columbia House offers this month in selected magazines, newspapers, and your mail.
Aww. How cute. I had so many tapes and CDs thanks to Columbia House and BMG.
Me too.
Because the idea was you got like 20 of them for a penny, but then they were like almost twice the price regular that you had to buy so many in the next couple years. However, the databases and internet tracking to who you are and if you paid or not really wasn't there. So there was no accountability for it. So you just
especially if you were under the age of 18.
Yeah. So my grandmother got me a Columbia House subscription. I mean, my uncle's house got one, and I just stacked my CD and tape collection with Columbia House. It was really fun. All right, we got a couple minutes left here. And let's get right to the final segment. And we got a couple more fun commercials to pop on as well.
Yeah, and we have that article I sent you earlier too.
Yeah, actually, if you want to talk about that now, it's probably a good time. We talked about the Uno, that was your He-Man Uno, and we talked about He-Man in the first episode, and now apparently it's Netflix is coming out with a series, right? Not a movie, a series.
No, a movie. It's going to be a movie.
Okay. So a real live action movie, not an animation, right?
No, I mean they still have the cartoons that they're doing. I don't think the Kevin Smith show is going to continue, but the other one, the CGI show, the season 2 is coming out in March. But they just announced. Let me pull up the article.
Go ahead.
Some guy named Kyle Allen is going to be playing He-Man. I Googled him, and I still don't know who he is.
I saw a little banter about the character playing it on some sites after I looked at that article, and kind of the same idea. A lot of people didn't realize who he was, but I kind of like that. An unknown, trying to make a name for himself, maybe.
Yeah, like it says, he was in the new West Side Story, The Path.
Bless you.
He kind of looks like Heath Ledger, but way too skinny, so I'm hoping that he either bulks up or maybe they'll do that nonsense like they do with the Hulk and CGI him.
I mean, that was my first thing. My first thing is you cannot have a He-Man if he's not super jacked.
Yeah.
Can I show you something?
Yes, go ahead, Ivy.
From the CGI, we have Skeletor, and they all have the same. And Skeletor and He-Man have the same articulations.
See, that's a jacked up Skeletor.
They have the easy one.
Yeah, they have the spring-loaded punches like the old school.
And instead of just going like this, they can lean over like this. They can lean over like this.
And headbutt. Yeah.
And so one, two, not head, 3, 4, 5.
Those are all fake numbers.
Yeah, I know not to believe in numbers.
They both have 8 articulations.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. So, is there any other information on the movie other than it's going to happen?
I'm not holding my breath that it's actually going to happen because supposedly for the past 20 years there's been a He-Man movie in development. When they announce more than one actor and actually start showing set photos, I'll believe it. But
was the only real life one they did the Dolph Lundgren one?
Yeah,
Dolph
that's
Lundgren
the
played
only one they did.
Masters of the Universe.
In 87 with Lundgren and Langella.
I have another thing to show you.
Oh, what do you want to show?
Dun dun dun!
Yeah, okay.
I'm totally preoccupied with Joel's lovely hairpiece.
It became unbelievable.
Speaking of the button,
Lord Amadeus.
Speaking of, he did look.
Oh my God! I could become LA.
All right, we have a finally a special guest. Let's bring this motherfucker on. It is Chance. What's happening?
I have nothing of value to add to this conversation.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday to you.
I'm gonna need for all you guys to shut the fuck up. Nope, this is not allowed. You can't do this. Can't do this at all.
Happy birthday, dear Chance and all your other names.
Happy birthday to you.
Everybody, happy birthday, old man. What do you like?
So I just want to say that all other 5,769 names in the yellow pages are left out.
So before we get into the last segment, you got to tell me, like, was there any board games that you played when you were younger that you really enjoyed the most? Like, what were your favorite ones?
I played a lot of board games, man. I played like the ones that I played the most. Like honestly, it was Trouble and Sorry, just because like I was always in trouble, so I had to play Trouble so I can make everybody else feel that trouble, and then I had to play Sorry with people because when I whoop you, I'm not sorry.
We said earlier there was a couple games that people can easily be a dick in, so it doesn't surprise me you're the one that wanted to be the dick and screw people and make them go back.
I could see him being the dick and Sorry.
I definitely was. I legitimately was. Like, I'm not even gonna fake it. Like, that was one of my favorite games because once I got it down packed, it was one of those things where it was like, oh, guess what? You were so fucked.
So you weren't a board. I was a board flipper. I got pissed and said, fuck this game, and flipped it over. You were the one that pissed people off to make them want to flip a board, right?
Well, see, no, I was a little bit of both because, like, if ever we were playing Monopoly and I started getting behind, then ain't nobody playing this game no more. Like, everything's on the floor. Like, I don't care about the chance card, community chest, what? Like, get this board out of my face.
They named a card after you on that game, for goodness sakes. Chance card.
So what you're saying is you were a sore loser and a sore winner?
Yes.
Yes.
I like it.
I am the blister on the butt cheek of life.
So we got one segment left, and it is we talked about classic games. We talked about ones based off of TV and movies. These are ones connected to video games, but I'm going to do the segment last. Let's do the commercials first. So these are when we finally get to VHS games, DVD games, and then into digital games. What's up, Ivy?
Before we do that, I want to tell you one thing about him. There's a certain way, you know. So you see how this is on it. There's also a smaller back one, and the thing is to get it in. If you don't put it a certain way, he'll just be like this, falling off. So there's this where there's two slots for them, and this where his crash goes.
Is that so he stays on there better?
Yep, because the little fabric things go in those slots.
So it'll hold him on to the Battle Cat. Is that Battle Cat?
Yeah.
That's a jacked up He-Man.
I actually found him in the forest. This cat found human in forest. It brought him back to the tribe.
Ivy segment's schooling us on the He-Man toys. I love it. All right, we'll be right back with our final segment right after these messages.
We'll return after these messages.
The game Nightmare, the game hosted by a video.
I am the gatekeeper!
To win, you must stop it.
Roll the dice!
The video board game Nightmare, the gatekeeper talks to you.
Whose turn is it next?
And you must answer him.
Answer me!
Yes, my gatekeeper.
Go for it!
Nightmare, a race against time for 3 to 6 very game players.
Let's party!
I don't remember this at all. Anyone?
No.
The guy's an asshole, isn't he, Joey? He's like,
I thought he said the gatekeeper.
Anybody remember the Nightmare VHS game? I don't.
Not at all.
That's way before my time.
As a little kid, that would have creeped me the hell out.
I know.
I didn't exist during this game, but it sounds like a terrible game, and that old man makes me want to fight.
Yeah.
The way he's yelling, I want to yell and fight him.
So VHS games were, very basic when it came to interaction, but that was the start of stuff that evolved into, here's a DVD game a lot of you guys might remember.
In a room where 6 people are bound by a love of movie trivia. It's Seen It, the DVD movie game with over 1,000 questions and tons of movie clips. Seen It. It's movie trivia gone high-tech. Have you seen it?
Have you
I
seen it?
remember that one.
Love
I was good at this
Seen It
one.
games.
So the Nightmare game, the reason I clipped that one is when I found Seen It, I found like tons of different versions of it. Same thing with Nightmare, apparently. There was like 20 or 30 different types of Nightmare games. So Seen It. Anybody else remember Seen It? I don't that much, but it looks like a lot of people do.
I
loved
had
Seen It. That was my
Disney Seen
fave.
It and ESPN Seen It. And
roll the die.
You have Disney
chilled.
seen it, Cassie? We gotta play.
I had it, yeah.
Have you seen it? If you haven't seen it, I'll show it to you.
Ooh, you gonna show me something, Blaise?
See, there's a bunch of different ones here. We have Friends version and all kind, just like the other games we talked about. There's a Harry Potter scene in the Nightmare game, I guess, is Riley's talking about.
No, he said there's a Harry Potter seen it.
There's a Harry something. Hey now.
Oh.
So the evolution turned into family games from checkers and chess and sitting around a board game, throwing dice, throwing cards, into interactive VHS, and then with the DVD, and then we got this console, which took party gaming to a different level, in my opinion. That's a freaking great commercial. I really like
to play.
We would like to play. Who had a Wii?
I just want to let everybody know. I don't care if you're in the chat or in the car. I just want you to know this, and I mean this wholeheartedly. I don't care how good you think you are. I will give you that work in Wii boxing and Wii golf all day.
Challenge accepted.
I was a badass at Wii bowling.
I love bowling too.
I got so good at Wii golf that I renamed my me to Tiger Hoods.
I was good at the boxing.
If my memory serves me right, tennis was really hard. No? You guys remember tennis? Wii tennis?
I was pretty good at the tennis too. I wouldn't say it was pretty hard. Like, if you had a decent backhand, you could cheat that game all day.
Good backhand. I'll show you.
Bowling was another one you could cheat on too, because you could just flick it.
Yeah.
Yep, just a quick flick of the wrist and it's instant strikes.
So Wii was kind of like virtual before, like basic virtual. Like you're not putting the screen on your face and really going full in, but to have a wireless controller and play the games and how you could play like 4 and more players and that too. That was the best part about it. It is a family type of game to involve.
And it played GameCube games too.
What's that?
It played GameCube games too.
Oh, I loved GameCube. That was so fun.
There's another one we've never talked about on any of the.
Opened it. It had the controller ports and the memory card slot for the game.
Is that Annabelle?
It's not actually.
I got really excited. I'm sorry.
I decided to name her Annabelle because as a younger kid, I was actually very terrified of her. Because
as a younger kid.
As a younger kid of like.
I love it. She's all grown up.
I was younger.
2 years ago.
I was younger than 8.
Younger than I was now. Yeah, I got you, Ivy. I understand where you're coming from. I'm picking up what you're laying down.
So like how the light makes a white little thing in there when I move.
You mean on the eyes?
Yeah. When I moved her around, it always moved, and it always thought that she was alive, and it always scared me, and I always stayed up extra late because I would never get to sleep.
I was going to say that would creep me out a lot. That would
just throw a blanket over it, honey. Just throw a blanket over that.
All right, last segment are we're going to tie in. We tied in TVs and movies and the classic games. Now we're going to tie in video games to board games. So here we go. Final segment. Joey's dancing against. I gotta make it rain some more Monopoly money for him. Yeah. All right. Chance wasn't here for this earlier, so I gotta know, when you played Monopoly, Chance, what little figure were you? Were you the dog, the boot, the car, the horse, the thimble, the iron, or the wheelie thingy?
I was always the car.
Always the car. See, on the same wavelength as me. I love it. I said I was always.
If I couldn't get the car, then I would be the dog, just so that way, whenever I pass the car, I could piss on it.
I'm the thimble thing.
You were the thimble thing Perfect. All right, last little.
I
got a question for real quick. I want to know if anybody out there is familiar with this game or not, or if this is just something that I stumbled upon in my youth by accident. But I got really obsessed. Me and one of my cousins, we got really obsessed with this game called Sequence. Is anybody familiar with that?
I think I've heard of it.
I've heard of
it.
One.
It was like there's like a little rollout map that you had, and it was kind of like checkers, but not really. And there were like playing cards that you had. It was really complicated to get into it, but once you actually like picked it up, it was addictive.
And I didn't cover that. And I also got to apologize, Chance. After all these games we covered, I did not have Bop It in here.
Pop it, flick it, twist it. Wow!
Flick it, stick it, ick it. We can get a lot dirtier with that one here.
There was a Simon game, but it wasn't Bop It. I did bring it up for you, Chance.
So the theme with this last segment will kind of be like the last one. Oh, there was a TV show or movie. Didn't know it had a video. I didn't know it had a board game. Kind of a lot of the same thing with these video games. Here's the first one. Love the game Berserk. Never knew it had a board game.
I thought this was war.
Berserk was very 8-bit, just running around shooting people, and the game looks more complicated than the video game was, to be honest. Because that was one of the first old school games there, Berserk.
No.
See, I know about this game, but not because like I experienced it while I was younger. I only saw it back when I was working at the board game lounge that I had a job at briefly.
Huh. So it looks like a pretty cool game. I'd want to work at a board game lounge.
It was very interesting. I got a lot of drunk people that were playing like Cards Against Humanity and other games like that were like trying to buy me drinks and get me to play with them, but I couldn't because I was on the clock.
Wait a minute. Now it's taken to a whole nother level. A board where you can drink there?
Damn.
Well, so it was like a bar and grill / board game lounge.
So, like, did it have one of those big Connect 4 things you could play with and stuff like that? The huge super.
This one, no, but we do have one that has that.
That's freaking cool. See, we don't have that around here. We might. I just don't know. I don't go anywhere.
That's cool as hell. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Centipede was a frustrating game for me out of some of the old school games, but I did not know it had a board game either.
Yeah, I never knew they had a board game for Centipede.
I love the actual game though.
Yeah, I didn't love it. I mean, I think it was a good game. Let me rephrase it. It was a frustrating game. I wasn't good at it, I guess I should say. That's why I hated it.
Centipede was before my time, but then they put out like the Namco arcade thing on the first PlayStation, and my mom had it. It was either the first PlayStation or PS2, either way. But my mom had it, and that got me introduced to a lot of the games I didn't know existed.
So, as we go on here, I just got a picture sent to me. Last night, if you watched the WrestleSense podcast, Eazy-E was taking his family to St. Louis. He will be at the Royal Rumble tomorrow night. I will be live streaming it, and I'm going to send out the link to everybody in all the private chats. I hope to have a nice little clan of people, a crew of people to watch the Rumble tomorrow night after my show, the game night. I apologize ahead of time. I'm not going to be able to bring everyone in. And there's some people that I will just kick out of the back green room when they come in. Nothing personal. I'm only going to let certain people in to hang out. I might bring you in for a second or so, but I just got a picture of Eazy-E and his boy with Shane McMahon.
Nice.
That's awesome.
And I told him, I said, I want some exclusives from him. And he said when he got there, he sent us a message in our Facebook chat. He is staying at the hotel all the WWE wrestlers are at.
Oh, that's cool as hell.
That's pretty cool.
So I said, dude, you know what you need to do?
Get to work.
I said, you need to get some interviews, video. You got a phone with a video camera on it. Interview some people. They can't, if you just roll up on them and start talking to them, they might not like it. But he's a dick when it comes to the show, but I don't know if he would actually do that. And then the guys were like, you need to have them say, hey, watch WrestleSense on YouTube. And I'm like, yes, do that. Some of that. I'm waiting for him to find like Paige or some of the people that we don't know are going to be there yet.
That would be awesome.
I will pop in for that show briefly after I get off of work, depending on if you're still live when I get off of work.
Well, it'll be starting at 7 for the pre-show, and we're going to spin the wheel and give people numbers in the live chat for both of the Rumbles, and it'll go probably till 11, I guess. It'll go through 10:30, and then Cassie's going to do Jackbox after that.
Yeah.
So we'll be on somewhere when you're off of work.
Yeah.
Defender.
Never heard of it.
Love
Defender
the
was a
video.
cool game.
No idea.
Because you had to pick up the little aliens, and and you could drop them, and if someone shot you, it dropped. And Zaxxon's one I remembered where you had to fly real awkwardly in a side scrolling game where it was real crazy angles. I don't know how this board game could be better than the game as opposed to the last one that was probably better than the video game of Berserk. Next one up, Doom. This is a little more complicated.
I have played this game.
I've played that one too.
So is this more
I never
D&D
played the
like or
board
no?
game, played it on.
Kind of like,
because I see miniature characters, I see different cards.
Yeah, like
it's a little bit kind of like the Warhammer setup.
Now, Doom was one of the old school first shooter games where you'd roll through and try to kill the aliens, right? Or no?
Demons. Like demons, yeah.
And there was a movie, right? There was a Doom movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, with The Rock.
The Rock.
I think there's 2 movies.
They did have a game to this one too, if I'm not wrong. I think there was a game to this one.
What?
Or am I thinking something else? Doom?
Video game? Yeah, I think that's what it's all based off of, the video game.
Yeah, it was a computer game.
Yeah. Doom, I remember when I worked at Gateway Computers, is one of the things along with Diablo that all the guys would get on all the different computers and play against each other. And
Diablo, that was my shit.
Diablo
back in the
2
day.
was the one they played all the time. I watched
Diablo and EverQuest.
They loved those games. And we would have a network there at the store, so they would get on all the different systems and just play some crazy games after we were done working. I just watched. I don't like playing. It's where I'm at now at this. Frogger. Fun game.
Had this one.
So same. Yeah, I think I had this one too. Now that I look at it, I mean, it's the same thing. You probably roll a dice or pick a card and how many spaces you go forward and hope a car doesn't run your ass over.
I used to play this game when I was drunk in the streets.
you played real life Frogger.
Real life Frogger, naked, running across the
God.
street, trying not to get hit by a car.
It had to be
Back
naked.
in my day, I used to streak and play this game on the highway.
That's a TV
So
show.
my dad
right
was like,
there.
"Yes, do it."
Apparently you won.
Joey's
You're
naked
still
Frogger. I can see the hopefully.
Obviously, I still won.
I get a weird feeling you'd still do that today if you had the opportunity.
No, I get hit by a car nowadays.
Not in the snow. All right, let's keep the video game ones going. And great video game. I'm sure this was pretty clever. I mean, look at the different levels you got right there, which is pretty a little different than some of the other board games, which is one board. This is like playing 6 boards.
Yeah, it looks like you got like the overworld and then dungeons in it. That's pretty awesome.
And like most of the games, cards and dice incorporated into it. And Chance, I think you were the only one when I mentioned it before in the chats when we were talking about dungeon dice. You remember? Were you the one that said you remember that? Or no?
Vaguely.
We covered it in one of the first ones, but dungeon dice. I remember talking. I went over the whole list with these guys on a call once, just like when we did the cartoons. And me and Nacho, we started out with like 30 cartoons, and next thing you know, we had like 130 that we were covering. Yeah, all the old stuff. If you guys missed that, definitely check it out on the site. We did all those old school cartoons, but 80 sitcoms, 80 game shows, they are coming. 80s one-hit wonders. I can't wait to do it. We're gonna do a musical.
That's gonna be great.
So we're gonna do.
You got to do that one on a day where I'm off, just so that way I could be in here singing every single one of them.
You are on this video live saying that. So I will hold you to that, you son of a bitch. I will definitely make sure.
I'll be your backup
I will
singer,
be there
Chris.
just to hear him singing.
I'm just saying, if you were watching that show, expect your ears to bleed by the end of it.
Well, here's the thing with one hit wonders, because of copyrights, I can't play the videos. I'll be able to show some screenshots. So definitely Blaise. Let's have some karaoke.
Give me the list ahead of time. What ones you guys want to sing?
So yeah, he'll bust. Nacho can learn the melody. Nacho can play the melodies. So 80s one-hit wonders will be a trip. So that one will be fun. And we'll do one just on TV commercials, retro TV commercials, because as the last 3 episodes, we've had a slew of great commercials. We did the toy commercials with Transformers and He-Man on the first one. We did all the Spider-Man stuff on the second one. I got a copyright from the 70s movie with the porn music, but I left it up. Cartoon one, and tonight we had tons of fun game commercials. All the funny jingles and shit. Even Joey Lawrence, whoa, in that one, what was it?
Mousetrap.
Mousetrap, yeah.
Whoa.
let's roll through the rest of the final couple here. We hit the 2-hour mark, closing in here. This is the Nightmare game. Now, Riley and a couple other people said they knew it. I didn't know about it. Apparently, there was. I can't say apparently with Cassie on here without going. Apparently, on my challenge calendar, I had to cover Nightmare.
Was it a palindrome?
In my palindrome, there was tons of different types of Nightmare too, and hopefully that old man wasn't screaming at you on all of them. Scared the hell out of Joey.
I'm gonna fight him.
Sorry,
yelling and everything.
Then he tried to be funny at the end.
Was it this one?
Oh, we're gonna have fun with the one-hit wonders, man. We're gonna have fun with the one-hit wonders, man. We'll get you a nice playlist beforehand. Of course, you're a little pie-looking guy eating balls and being chased by ghosts.
It's my life story right here.
Pac-Man game, Joel Quinn's life story. Machete had the Pac-Man game. I don't think I had the game. I definitely had one of those little tabletop arcade machines. Those were so much fun. I had a Galaga one and a Pac-Man one. And I remember which Pac-Man game was it. There was a pinball. I think it was Miss Pac-Man pinball. But if it fell into a certain area, a video game came up. You got to play like Junior Pac-Man or something. I just remember that for some reason. I was a big.
Sounds vaguely familiar.
I still am a big pinball mark. I go to an arcade. I'm playing pinball. Once again, did not know it had a board game, but Pitfall.
No,
holy crap! What?
I don't understand the concept of this game. I don't get it.
Pitfall.
Someone tell me about this game. I have no idea what the hell this is. I was not alive. I was not.
Pitfall is like Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones. Yeah. You would swing over the alligator pit. You would jump over the scorpions on the bottom. And it was trying to find the gold, right?
Yep. You're just collecting gold to build up your score.
And obviously, there's elephants in this version. Go figure. Pitfall had a board game.
That's crazy.
Someone found Veer. Oh no, I saw that. Cody, seen it. We seen it. The commercial for it earlier.
I seen it.
We seen tit. I seen tits at the Red Lounge. Hey now. So
Red Lounge has some of the best tits in the country.
Hey now. I'm not sure because we're almost done here. If Shifty's still going live, he was on here earlier and he had to go, but he was apparently
he went live.
He's live already.
He should be.
Yeah, he was live when I popped into the stream.
Oh, cool. Then we're going to raid him in just a moment here. All right, let's finish this up.
Raid.
We're about done, and we'll go check out Shifty. I'll drop the link in the chat, and we'll roll on over there. This is Zaxxon I was talking about earlier. I forgot it was on this list, but Zaxxon had a board game. Go figure.
I don't know anything about that. All I know is Zaxby's.
No.
They're missing an X.
It was one of the
you want a triple X version of Zaxxon.
Yes. Zach's on, Zach's off.
Bravo. That's why I brought you on here, Joey. Welcome to Legion of Dork. You fit in perfectly here, my friend. I'm really glad you guys came on here. Good to have everyone on here. And I think we got the Wii to close it up. Yes. We talked about the Wii. We saw the commercial. We want to play.
Just saying, you can get that work in Wii Box It or Wii Tennis. You can give me that work in anything Smash Bros. Like I'm here for it.
So what we want to go from here is talk about number one. We will go check out Shifty's show, but in the description of this show, there is the link to Chance's channel, and he does a bunch of gaming streams with different people. And this is evolved.
They're coming for me.
They're coming to get you. They're coming to take me away. So from board games, family board games, to incorporating VHS or DVD into video games, and now online, we have a plethora of things like Chance and Cassie and company have played Uno. They played Monopoly. I've done the Family Feud. I'm going to bring that back. I want to bring more Battleship. So this is going to tie in. This is going to tie into our channels. Cassie's channel is also linked in the description of this show. Tomorrow night, after we do the live watch along for the Royal Rumble, We're all going to have a Jackbox stream, which will be a lot of fun, I'm sure. Joey's having some technical difficulties here to end out the show. Let's see if he's back. Oh, we got this little swirly thing for him. No, we lost him. So there he is. So we want to take this to another level from this show into our channels and what we're going to do in the future. I want to do more gaming. As I brought all these podcasts to my channel, I want to bring more gaming. I'm not a gamer. I don't even play the WWE game, so we're not going to see that. But, however, these family games, and Cassie and Chance can definitely attribute to how much fun we have on those streams. I mean, Chance alone, I remember one of the Monopoly games. I wasn't even playing, and you guys were tripping me out the whole time playing Monopoly.
Our Monopoly games can get very entertaining.
Now,
man, fuck the Monopoly games. Y'all like to team up against me and shit because I'm great.
The one that sucked, though, is I love playing Uno because it's basic, but Chance always plays all those goofed up rabbit games and stupid, different, silly other types of kinds that piss me off, and I just want to play regular Uno. But it is fun when Shulky gets like 30 or 40 cards and gets all picked up. And
because she keeps on challenging my Unos or my wilds when I only play them when I don't have the card.
I got the confirmation that Shulky will join us on a future Legion of Dork, and I even said earlier, even if I got to cover the She-Hulk show that's coming just to get her on here, Shulky will be on one of these shows. She promised me. And I did play Tekken with her the other night, and she whooped my ass a million times, so she owes me. So you gonna play us out?
We could always do a Funko Pop episode and have her actually explain.
True.
What they are.
I have a friend that would probably love to be a part of that. That's all he does. He does live streaming. He was a manager with me at Verizon, and he literally has, I think it's mostly on IG, where he slangs those Funko Pops, and he's got tons. He's got a little community over there too. I don't have any. I don't really enjoy them as much, but I know there's a million people that are really into Funko Pops. So that's definitely.
I got a few of the key rings, but that's about it.
Yeah, but like I said, we won't collect them because I know myself. If I go down that rabbit hole, I'm going to turn into wanting them all.
Well, we talked about it before, too. That's something that when it catches on, they have Funko Pops for literally everything.
Yeah, like
there's a Bob Ross Funko Pop.
Now, that would be cool.
I don't even own any of the He-Man Funko Pops, and I collect pretty much anything He-Man. Like I know how I am. If I start buying them, I'm going to end up. Oh, I got the He-Man ones. I should get the Thundercats, or
Yeah, see, I kept myself on a short leash with those. That's why I've only got like the key rings. And I told myself mentally, like, if I'm gonna do anything with these key rings, I want only specific like Marvel or DC villains. That's it. Nothing else. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. I refuse.
Well, school me a little bit. How much of those things retail?
It depends on the size.
I mean, if the regular standard ones you see most places, are they 20, 30, $10, $50? I mean, or does it depend? I know it depends on who it is, average.
I know in my area, the average size one, the normal size ones are like 15.
Okay, so starting around $15-$20 for basic one. Oh, Chance are coming to get you again.
And then like a lot of the stores have a deal where it's like you buy 3, you get 1 for free.
No, Shulky, I don't care if you got a studio or not and need to paint it. No excuses. You don't even need a camera. You just need to come on here and enjoy the show with us. It will happen. And now that I have Chance admitting that what he's going to do in the future, too.
We're no strangers to love.
And we're looking for more Call and Order episodes, too. Those are always fun, whether it's on Twitter or here on YouTube. Other than that, we are going to go ahead and close out this episode of the wonderful. You need to come up with a Legion of Dork song, Nacho. You need to come up with like a theme song.
Right.
We have to come up with a type of theme song that we can jam out to and sing. Especially when we do the. Chance is going to actually. He is committed to singing at our 80s One Hit Wonder show.
Depends on how drunk I am.
Well, then I'll make sure to.
I don't have to be drunk to sing, and I said I'd be your backup. So let's go.
Yeah, man, it depends on how drunk I am. If I get drunk enough, I'll sing all night.
So is there like a local liquor store that takes online orders that I could order a couple bottles and have it like delivered right to you? Because I will for that.
Hey man, I'm about to DoorDash some booze right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. If there's a DoorDash booze, you hit me up with the number and I'll make it happen. So studio, aka room, says Shulky. Okay, all right. Drunk show tunes. It's bad enough hearing Riley yell and scream, and I can imagine him singing. Any last words from birthday boy Chance before we take off here?
Fuck your couches. Your mother might love you, but I sure as hell don't.
Jeez.
My mother's dead.
Good old Joey. It was a nice surprise that he popped in a stream, and I dropped a link for him to join us. Love his humor. Joey's a great friend, and he's definitely a member of the Legion of Dork as well as Shifty, who we're going to raid here in a second, as well as I dropped the link there. Cassie, any final words?
Let's all go have fun at PDW, and we will catch you guys tomorrow.
Tomorrow night, we have a triple header. I'm going to do the game night, which I'll be giving away prizes from my T Public store, Ladder Chat Hangman, Wrestling Roulette, Die Match, Die Chamber, all the fun shit. Chance has like 3 chances.
Tomorrow night, Blaise is going to lose his voice.
Yeah, I can't. I got to do 2 football games.
I know.
So we'll see.
So Blaise, I just heard you say that you were going to give me a hoodie from your T Public with the Chance and the Clone Chance. That's what I heard.
Oh, I didn't really put a logo up for that, but I could. It's your birthday. Put me on the spot. Well, Chance has the chance pun, to win the Blitzkrieg title tomorrow and a lethal title shot. So good luck to you. Cassie, you got a shot at the Battle Queen title against Goddess of Pain tomorrow. And Super Nacho defends his Blitzkrieg championship as well. So it'll be fun. I just added a match. I just added Dragonheart versus Count Zraithnok. So we get to hear about all the dragons and we get to hear Count's stupid ideas. So that'll be fun kicking off the show tomorrow, probably around 3:30 or 4 o'clock. I got to get it done early so we can get to the Rumble. And the Rumble, I've never done a watch along for something like that. So I'm hoping you guys join me and we have a good time. So let's do a Blaise raid as we head over there. Nacho, any final words before we take off? he starts the stream with an Orange Cassidy thumb and ends with a little nonchalant wave like he's in a parade. I love it.
Nacho, I love you.
You're the best, my man. You're the best. And the invitation for these extended members of the Legion of Dork is going to always be here if you guys want to be a part of the show. Me and Nacho enjoyed doing the show, but adding a great extra dimension with we got asshole Chance here and the lovely Cassie Madam Red. And crazy old Joel Quinn, who could not enjoy his humor and his fun.
I want to shoot on Cody real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Cody Hagan, nobody gives a fuck about your title matches. You're going to lose them. You suck.
To be continued in the GPW Twitter chat. All right, folks. Peace and positive vibes. Hit that link. Let's go over. Hold on. Maybe let's see if we can actually check out. I don't know if you guys can even hear that. Probably can't hear it. I don't know if it's coming through. No. I have Shifty live here now. So let's go ahead and head over there and Blaise raid and check him out. And we will see you soon on the next episode of the Legion of Dork. Peace.